Hey, hello everyone. Hello Words. Hello Goom. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone. Yay! Snack Time Podcast, our favorite. We're here, chat. We're here. Our favorite. It's a mayor. Yeah, it's a mayor vote. It's just my city. It's not that big of a deal. Hello Words. Uh huh. Or like I'm going to the military or something. Yeah, guys. Sorry, actually, like I'm a South Korean popular K-pop idol. Yeah, and I'm obligated. Based. It's okay, Giz. You can go to sleep if you need. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, that's a good outfit. I like it. Yeah. That's unfortunate. That's just unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Have a good day, everybody. I wish a good day to everyone, especially Macaron. Good evening to Macaron later because it's evening for her. She already had the day. Yeah. Ah, that's good. That's good to hear, Goom. Yay! Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. 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 So the point is, chat. Technically, for a while there, for a small while there, with Twitter was back to Brazil for a while there. But technically speaking, Brazil is in fact still banned, still suspended. We cannot access Twitter by normal means at all. So, if you see me posting there, no, you didn't. And secondly, if you see me posting there, it's not me. It's my American friend, Maze. Because that's another name for corn. Uh, yeah, which he's American, so it's completely fair for him to post as me in the United States in my account. So don't report me, but he's just using Twitter for me because I can't be bothered. I cannot be outside Twitter. So technically, yeah. So technically, I am in fact infiltrated because technically I shouldn't be there. Yay! Yay! Welcome, welcome, Isa. How are ya? Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Also, Fugi Tech hates me. For real, for real. Grown ups? Yes, I believe it did. Oh, hi, Jeff. Thank you for the hydrate. Grown ups, is that the one? Yeah, that's the one you had them selling, right? Uh huh. Uh huh. Exactly. No, you're 100. Literally. And it's funny too because it is the perfect a perfect like alter name for a corn, you know. Yeah, oh, I forgot to say yesterday, Macaron, Jeff had his VTuber model debut. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice, and very shamelessly, he stole our trick or treat model, and he was doing that with chat. The chat needed to guess trick or treat, you know, real or fake for his crushes, and yeah, it was pretty good. And I end up with 0 points because because I guess because I wasn't like on the zone of like analyzing, and I was just going with my preferences. Everything. Oh, I had 1 or 2 points. Thank you, Jeff. He did credit us. To be fair, he did credit us. But like everything that Jeff likes, I said it was a trick, and everything that I liked, it was a trick for him. So I called him the anti me. He likes literally the opposite characters that I do, which is fair. But you know, I got 1 or 2 points by the end because I could not. Hmm. You could say that. You could say it that way. Yeah. Oh, you can't hear a macaron, really? Huh?
I've been
Oh,
yapping on your side this entire time, and no one, everyone just thinks you're talking
wow.
to yourself.
How
Oh
is it? Oh my god! For some reason,
no!
I turn all the output volume to 0, like all the way back, so nobody could hear anything from.
He doesn't want
Um.
anybody saying any shit.
Ah
He doesn't want to
man.
have had anybody saying anything.
Gee. The scuff is real. At least that was like what 11 minutes. It's not that bad. God damn. Damn it. It's okay, chat.
Oh, hold on. 2 seconds. I just realized something too, is that I need to whip up Ninja as well.
Oh, I was
Hot
using
minute,
your
2 seconds.
I was using your Fugi, but Fugi keeps resetting on me because he hates me for some reason.
Bruh. That's
Fugi
fine.
too.
Actually, you know what? If the Fugi can reset itself, I am merely a ghost, everyone. I am not real on Corn's end. This is all an illusion. You're all
Exactly.
going to question yourselves for the next 3 hours.
Exactly. Which one did you dip on? Because I think I had a few left after you left. I dipped on. Let me think. I think it was the one where they Avi made a joke about the bush. I'll dip after
Made
that
the
one.
trick about a
Don't worry about
bush.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Macaron. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried. You don't just say bush for no reason.
That's what
What
I remember.
was
I
it?
forgot the name of the character. God damn it. Oh no. Was that no that Ishigo was before that. Yeah, well, it was that character.
I didn't wish you all a good morning. Oh, good morning! Thank you, Gumi. Good morning to you too.
There we go, Satsuki. Yes, Jeff. Yes.
Satsuki. Oh.
Satsuki, yeah, from that one thing that I don't know how.
That thing from that piece of media from that one time that I actually don't know anything about, but like I learned a little thing about it.
Exactly.
That thing with that other thing.
That one thing, yeah. Fuji
Yeah.
packages despises me for some reason.
The spices. It's like I'm literally a ghost. I'm realizing I'm like looking at your stream and I'm like I'm here and then I'm gone and then I'm here and then maybe I'm teleporting.
I don't know why, because on the site itself, on the source, you're fine, but like in my stream you keep disappearing. Oh my god, it does all the time.
I'm teleporting, guys. I'm phasing in and out of this timeline. I'm sorry.
Yeah, guys. I'm sorry, guys. God damn it.
The connection is unstable. It's I don't belong on this time. I don't belong in Korn's realm, unfortunately.
She's incorporeal, chat. That's what it is. God damn it.
It's wild out here. But without further ado, unless you have some other things to do, shall we spin the wheel?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think I have anything else today.
Okay, cool. Let me crack this baby open. There we go.
Thank you for the 4 months, Rod. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Damn. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, here we go. You ready for the spin?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the spin. Spin it up.
Spin! Spin it up, spin it up, spin it up, spin it up. Oh!
Wait.
You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one.
Okay. Is it science?
It's D&D yap time, boys!
Oh,
let's go!
Thank God! Oh my God, it's been so long! It's been so long, chat! Let's go!
Yippee!
Hi, Words, welcome! Those are good choices, actually, Jeff. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Oh, finally, I can talk about D&D. Okay. Where do you want to begin?
Honestly, this is like this excitement is actually so genuine for the both of us.
Yeah.
Because man, the things we yap about when it comes to D&D is insane. Him and I can talk about it for hours.
It's insane. We do.
Where do we begin?
Okay.
What do we even?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because it dropped kind of recently. Have you seen the new 1D&D, which they're calling PNG and DMG? Oh, PHB and DMG 2024.
No, I'll be completely honest. When 1D&D came out, it feels like it was ages ago. Wasn't it like last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago. It feels like it's been a hot minute since they even announced its existence in the first place. The day they announced that news, I was really confused because I was like, okay, what does this have to do with anything for me? And then I read a little bit on it and I was like, words, too many words.
Thank you for the cluster check, Mr. Nana. Absolutely. And you know what? I was also dismissive about it because, like, bro, at this point, just because they basically said it was backwards compatible. Basically, like, you could still play everything from 5e on the new system. And I was kind of skeptical about it. But it dropped, and I take a look at it. Well, basically, I only read Evoker, which is Evocation Wizard, because that's the only thing I care about. But I ended up reading the other stuff later. Yeah,
as you should.
I just care about my class and nothing else. But I end up reading it, and definitely it is a substantial change. But it can still work. Like, my players on Tomb of Annihilation, they just hit level 10 and they started at the 5th floor of the tomb.
Damn.
And because they're level 10, I think that's a good midpoint. And like I just said, you guys, if you want, you can just update your character to the new version. And it's it has a lot of more options, I should say. Like, for example, if you are specialized, if you are a fighting, a martial class, fighter, rogue, paladin, barbarian, you get basically weapon masteries depending on your class. I think fighter gets 3 and the other ones get 1, unless I'm mistaken. But basically, you can choose a weapon, or in this case, a fighter, up to 3 weapons. And if you use that weapon, they get an extra effect. So, for example, if you get weapon mastery in a longsword, you do like an extra thing if you only use a longsword. Which is pretty cool because, I mean, it's not as customizable as Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and I'll die on that hill that Pathfinder 2nd Edition is the best in customization, but also makes the system itself harder to get into. But it gives more options. Like, you can be a barbarian that focus solely on mauls, and another barbarian can focus on like the great swords, and then technically you guys would be different. Corin, that isn't a hill, that's just facts. Yeah, thanks.
That's just facts.
I mean, I've seen people.
Why are you downplaying? Just say it as it is.
Sorry, I've seen people try to argue the opposite, even though they are objectively wrong.
Objectively wrong. But yeah, I think for me personally, because obviously you've got years of experience more on top of D&D than I do. For me, my major concern about a couple of changes, because I remember a lot of people were getting upset about it, and I was like, let us remind ourselves that technically we could all just ignore this.
Yeah.
Let us just remind ourselves that this doesn't, we could just say this isn't real. Because once again, we come full circle to the fact of, let me remind you all that this is Dungeons and Dragons, an entire game based around role-playing, making stuff up, imagination. That is the foundation of the game. You can just ignore this.
No,
you don't
absolutely.
have to apply yourself to it.
You're absolutely correct. Though there are a lot of things that came out as UAs, because they were testing stuff out, right? They were releasing UA before 1D&D for people to give feedback, and they did listen. For what I could tell, they did listen to the people, because a lot of things doesn't seem the same that they were on the UA. They did tweak a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's way more palatable. I mean, my opinion. People might disagree with me.
People might be like, shut the fuck up, Colin. You don't know what you're talking about.
Literally.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to get caught out here saying any of this stuff on the D&D Reddit page. Can you imagine? Oh.
You're not all the deaths. You need to stop saying that, Roger. Other people died in the campaign. It's not just your characters. You need to stop complaining about it.
It's not all about you.
Yeah. It's not all about you.
Ranger got debuffed. Look, Ranger may have been debuffed, but in my games, I ignore.
I would actually say the opposite. I thought that Ranger got buffed. Actually, reading it. Well, buffed in the different sense, basically. Because now, one thing that I like, they try to make everything a rule, something that was like up to the air. Like, for example, now casting a spell is called the magic action. So when people ask, yeah, it's called magic action. Because basically before it was kind of a specific action, but it didn't have the name of an action, like was named casting a spell. And now, and then basically like some wordings were wishy-washy. Then it comes down to components about counter spelling, for example. And now, for example, using a magic item or casting a spell is called a magic action. And to counter spell a spell, now, if the person uses a verbal, somatic, or material component, they can be counter spell. Which before, I think a lot of people ruled that material didn't count for counter spell because you just have to have the object on you. And it was kind of wishy-washy if you could tell they're casting a spell, but now they made it very clear that yes, it does count for counter spelling. For example.
And for you people out there who couldn't read between the lines, this one's for you.
Yeah, literally. They did. I mean, a lot of
Back to
stuff.
looking spooky.
Oh, she is. She, really, really good outfit, honestly. Sorry.
Yes, you were saying.
Sorry, I took a sip of water. They did try to explain a lot of things that were up to the air, up to the DM. But of course they still missed some stuff. But other stuff like they explain way better. That is the thing.
I mean,
yes,
that's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Technically, Rangers got buffed in a sense of mechanics, but they did remove the flavor, which is kind of sad. Same for like druids. If I'm mistaken, Lau, you don't turn into animals like the animal stat block. If I'm not mistaken, you have like a beast form stat block, and you choose like you choose from a list. Like the Tasha summon spells were like, if you cast Undead Spirit, you could choose like about a ghost type, a zombie type, or like another type of undead. They're doing the same thing for druids. You don't choose an animal, you choose a type of animal. Like, and then you get a basic stat block for that. Which I can see that being easier because then you don't have to learn every single different thing that every beast does. But it does take away the flavor, to be fair.
Imagine a druid turning into a giraffe.
I mean, yeah, you can. Technically, you can.
But like, if you think about it, because when it comes to druids, you know, just turning into any kind of beast, if you get to the nitty-gritty of it all, not every beast does the same thing. So, at the table, if a druid tells me that I want to turn into, I don't know, an otter, I'm gonna be asking myself, what does an otter do? What are the characteristics of an otter, and how am I going to associate that with the game? You know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go with it.
We're just gonna go, yeah, we're just going with it. True.
It's just, we just go with the vibe, which is, like I said to you, is just, that's my biggest concern about D&D games and campaigns is remembering it's about the fun. It's about having fun and having a good time. There are all these rules, and once again, as we already established, like most of the time it is up to the DM to be the one to, you know, like set the record straight, keep it all intact. Every table is always different, homebrew, all that jazz. At the end of the day, if everybody at the table is having fun, including the DM, that's all that matters, everyone. That's the biggest takeaway you can have.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Exactly. We're all about having fun here.
Yeah. I wanna actually check it out. Let me see if I can do it on stream. Probably gonna look horrible.
Probably gonna look terrible.
Yeah, because I have so many windows on stream, but we ball.
We ballin' for real.
Let's see. Because I have this neat little site that's called 5E Tools. Oh, now I disappeared. Nice. It's not showing up.
I hate fun. That's a lie, Gumi.
True. That
is such a big lie.
That's like every D&D player. They just hate fun.
Every D&D player either... Honestly, I've actually seen more DMs who dislike fun than...
No, you're right. I was semi-joking, but you're right. I know,
right. But I was going to say, I was like, I have actually played with a couple of players before, where it was a Pokemon campaign. I think I told you about this once. I think
Pokemon? I don't remember if you did you?
Okay, so in case I haven't, and this is probably be the first time I'm mentioning it to everybody on stream here. So I was part of a Pokemon homebrew campaign that a friend of mine was hosting. This was like years ago. Now, bear it in mind, they had already had their first session, like the pilot session without me. He invited me like for the next session because he was like, oh, we have this character and we think he'd be a really good addition to the whole entire party. And I was like, okay, cool. I jump in and adjust to what's going on and, you know, whatever the DM is setting up and all that jazz. I didn't realize how little everybody else was contributing to the game.
Literally.
Aside from me. And I was like,
horrible.
wow, I'm getting...
That's horrible, actually.
Like, I was having fun, don't get me wrong. It was really fun to play the game. It was, I think we only had, like, it was a very short campaign. It was, like, 6-7 sessions. But it was concerning to me that, you know, new player coming to the table and, you know, because they had all these Google documents noting everything that happened in the past session. I was like, okay, cool. Yep, I'm caught up. I understand what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. Chill. Epic. Great.
Chill.
Yeah, chill.
Chill.
Child. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel
like, we go through and it's like nothing is happening. And if something was happening, it was mostly coming from me. Everybody else was kind of there just observing as players. And I was like, this is so strange to me. This is a really weird situation I'm in. I don't even know what to call this.
I see.
But that was probably like the one time I can actually have a distinct time of where I was like, yeah, I've had a problem being in a campaign of where the players were just very standoffish and not really participating at all. But yeah, so bear in mind for everybody, it does happen. And even as a DM who, you know, is forever in the seat, even I have really odd sessions here and there where it's like I get to be the player for once, but the player is playing a little harder than the other players.
No, yeah, that
what happened?
It comes down to like balancing the game for like both, like for the player that's playing a little bit harder, quote unquote, like is getting good, and the rest of the players who might not be in the same level. And that's where the real difficulty comes to being a DM, is to balance the game. So it's like challenging for everyone, and that's a problem. Especially if, like, I don't have a problem, like, my players can attest to this. If I have, like, if I'm running a game, it's really hard for me to say no to, like, something, right? Like, oh, Corn, can I try this homebrew? Oh, yeah. Oh, Corn, can I try doing this multi-class? Yeah. Like, it's really hard for me to say no, because I feel like I'm really good at balancing for everyone. But it does get to a point that if the level, by the level of, I guess, try-harding of the players are very different from one player to another, it can get to the point where either every fight is a potential TPK if they don't play optimally, or one of the players will basically plow through everything and not be challenged. If that gets to happen, it's really rare for that to happen in my games that I ran. But if that's what has to happen, I tend to like don't make it like deadly for every player. Just let that player, you know, be, I guess, not challenged while the rest of the party has fun. Basically, I'm sorry. It has to come to a caveat. Like, I can't make everything challenging for one player, because then the rest of the party would just die if they're not like a min-max and power gamer. Which I don't have a problem with. It's just a style of play. But it can be...
I actually have a really good question for you in this retrospective. Do you prefer Milestone or EXP?
Oh, Milestone. Milestone for sure.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you.
Because EXP does like puts the player in the mindset of like, I have to kill this, and
grind.
Like I have to kill everything, and if I'm doing it alone, that's more XP for me, and I want the players to work together and not try to like, okay, I'm gonna try to do this by myself so I get more XP by myself. Oh, boo! Bot. Sorry.
Boo!
Ashukart, have you ever played in an XP campaign? Technically, I have, Rod, even though it didn't last for long. One of my very first D&D campaigns as a player, I think actually my very... No, it wasn't my very first. My very first was IRL. My very first online campaign that I get from looking for a group in Roll20 was a Lost Mines of Phandelver campaign, and the DM did the XP. And from the start, I did not like it. From the start.
Yikes! That's how you know it's a bad sign.
Yeah,
oh,
I was like,
no.
bro. Because they also, like, I was starting, and I think there was a girl that was also starting playing, but, like, the other two players were the DM's friends, and they were, like, veterans. And you know when you're doing something, and the other player... Oh, your chat disappeared. And the other players... There you go. Like, they just do it because, you know, they know how it goes. They don't take the time to let you that's learning to learn. They just don't want to do it all themselves. It was kind of bad, honestly. It's a pretty bad experience, honestly. Okay, Fugitek is actually pissing me off at this point. It's so distracting. It's so distracting. I guess
I'm here.
You're
and
here,
I'm back
yeah.
again. I'm dead.
There you go. God damn it. I think I'll just have like a still image of you. I think it's easier for my attention span. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna actually go
attention span.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fugiel. Yeah.
Fugiel. Yes, indeed.
Only me. I never seen this happen to any other person on the planet. Sorry.
Your Fugi for me is perfectly fine.
Yeah, because he hates me, I guess. And I'm using, like, I'm just using the browser source like every other human being on the planet, but it just hates me.
I'm gonna murder Hobo. Okay, this is a thing I don't think I've also... There's so many, like, this is why I'm so happy that we're doing the D&D Yap today, because there are a lot of stories that both Colin and I can share that, you know, stuff we're developing, games that we played, advice here and there, like all that jazz. Speaking of murder hoboing, the only time, the one exception I will have for murder hobo shenanigans, where I'll like literally let you get away with it, is during a villain campaign, because you're a villain.
I always wanted to do that. I never played the villain campaign. I always wanted to do that.
I honestly, villain campaigns can go really, really well when like the players understand that, because, you know, in a typical game of where the players are the heroes and, you know, they're supposed to be saving whatever during a quest, it's notably understanded for them that it's like, okay, well, the DM is going to be against us because they're playing the villain, but there are obviously situations of where it's like, okay, assist us out here and there. In a villain campaign, I enjoy it because it's the one time I get to come out here and really writhe into the players and like plan their downfalls, because it's the mindset of, remember, your character deserved this.
Yeah, that's
you did this. You deserve this.
I see what you mean. That's a good point, actually.
You don't get any mercy because of the heinous acts that you have committed. So therefore, I am going to do everything I can to be your worst enemy. I don't give a fuck about what's happening.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. And it does sound fun, though. It does sound fun. I never had the opportunity, but it does sound a lot of fun.
If you are down, I will make a one-shot. and I'll figure out for us to play a villain campaign, because I know you dig that. I know you dig being a villain. So
I have so many like characters that are like evil, but I never got to play them like that, you know. So
Hi, Dr. Phil, D&D chat. Yes, we're yapping about D&D today.
We're yapping about D&D. Yeah.
Okay. But yes, continue.
No, yeah, like I said, I have a lot of like evil characters. and like, but I never had the opportunity to. I mean, technically, I did. It wasn't kind of a evil campaign. It's more like it was still good, but it was basically like the aftermath where like the heroes lost, and like the world was dominated by the villains, and we would be the resistance. But we were all reborn. The only like we died. We were sacrificed to the vampire lords, and we would come back as reborns, and then we had to do any. We had like I think 2 weeks to live, and we had to defeat the vampires in 2 weeks. Yeah, that was Cake's Halloween game that we're supposed to last like the Halloween at 1 year, but he never finished it, which is fair.
That sounds really good though.
It was a good premise. I'll give you that. It was a good premise, but never like the actual. I just want to be a villain. Like
I just want to see the world burn.
I just want to. Yeah, I just wanna do bad stuff.
Please let me take it out, please.
It's fun when I ran a. Well, I say one shot, but it lasted like for 6+ months. A mini campaign, I guess. Where actually, because this character Corn, he does have history in our like server. So this was like an alternate universe where Corn story took a different like way, and he became like a villain. And it was basically Curse of Strahd, where the players were trapped in a domain of dread that was made by the gods to imprison Corn instead of, Strahd. And it was pretty fun. I love running that mini campaign. I ran like 3 times already because I have so much fun running that campaign.
Damn.
I should run for you one of these times, one of these days.
Please, pretty please. It's been a hot minute since I played. The only thing that keeps me on the D&D hyperfixation is yaps with you and random pieces of art that inspire me to put more lore into the gods of Talmori. Which, by the way, for people who are new and don't know what Talmori is the world that I made for my D&D campaigns. I say campaigns plural because any campaign that I come up with is going to be based inside of Talmori.
Based, honestly.
It's so much. Oh my goodness. I do really want to yap about this because it's been my biggest hyperfixation, and I think Rod was there when I explained this, and I'm pretty sure I explained it briefly to you, Corn. I can't remember.
You did.
But
I wouldn't say briefly.
Oh yeah,
like we spoke for like 4 hours.
Okay, you're right. I was like, briefly. No, it was not brief at all. It was a whole entire fucking meeting.
And I enjoyed every second of it. It was pretty good. It was pretty nice.
So, my recent endeavor with the gods of Talmori. So, backstory for everybody. I have 12 gods within this world. The recent addition for lore that has come about has been for the goddess of greed, Zemthis. She is my new pride and joy. I have put in a lot of work for her. She is inspired by a couple of artworks, actually. So there was a piece on Twitter that was trending about the concept of cannibalism and whether people do it out of hatred or love. Now, that alone got the ball rolling for me. I was like, wait! I can make a god out of this. There is something I can do with this.
I can make a religion out of this.
Like we can make a religion out of this.
Like the one, like the history of the world video.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally like the light switching on for me in my head when I saw that piece of work. I was like, wait. The other thing too was I saw that piece. And I was immediately reminded of the famous, it's like a Renaissance piece of art called, what is it? It's Saturn consuming his son. So, mythology, like checkups here for everybody. Saturn is Kratos in Greek mythology. And not Kratos, Kronos, that's his name.
I was about to say,
and
like,
if you know... Yeah, I was like, Kratos! No, it's not. Yeah, I was like, wrong person. Kronos. So, if you know the story of Kronos and Rhea, and I guess it's basically the origin story for the gods of Greek mythology, I guess, in a way. Basically, Kronos, gets told this prophecy from his mother Gaia that one of his children, well, his children plural in general, will eventually, basically take over, kill him, all that jazz. They will dethrone him in a sense. And he, out of a panic and fear, decides that he's going to consume his children instead. Now, the story continues on where, Rhea pretends to feed him his children, but actually, like, feeds him rocks, and, he goes into, like, a food coma, I guess, is what it is, and then Zeus cuts out his siblings. Yeah. We'll call it a food coma because that's basically what's happened. He's eaten so much rocks to a point of where he's passed out. And, Zeus rips open his stomach and sets all his siblings free. That's the basic premise of that story. The art piece of Saturn consuming his son is quite literally this Renaissance piece of work of Saturn eating his son. It's a very famous piece of work. That enough was what caused me to think of this idea for Xanthus, the goddess of greed, because I wanted to come up with a concept of why a goddess of greed is the way that she is. Now, I've already yapped to Corn about this many times, many times about my ideas for the gods and how the world of Talmore works, the concepts of races, how the children of Talmore come about, all that jazz. There's a lot of history. Like, there is a timeline, and he's seen the whole of it.
I've seen it, chat. It's real.
There is so much work I have put into this, and the idea of the gods and the children of Talmore, the relevance that they both have to each other, is that the gods, in a way, are representative of how the children of Talmore react to things, how they are influenced, all that jazz. It all comes from the gods. So it's a concept of the goddess of greed. Why does the goddess of greed do what she does? How does she feel about things? And all that jazz.
There you go.
She, and this is really sad when I came up with the story for her. The story for Xanthus is that when the 12 gods came to Talmore, it was literally just a ball of mass. So they all decided to come together to create this glorious world that it is known as today. Now, the concept of the gods is that they get to choose whatever they want to be. They are omnipotent beings. They, decide whatever the hell they want to be, whatever the heck they are. And that stays true to this day.
Kind of base.
The sad tragedy, honestly, kind of a great idea when you think about it.
Yep.
The tragedy for Xanthus, because as I said before, the gods chose their positions. They chose to be, for example, the goddess of the underworld. They decided to be the gods of architecture, of pleasure, all that jazz. Those were decided for themselves. They chose those roles. Xanthus's tragedy is that she's almost in a way always been a goddess of greed. And it's this really insatiable, unknowing situation for her that she's always felt the sense of constantly wanting from the day that she got to this ball of mass at the time. So it's in a way where she didn't have a choice to be the way that she was. The concept of cannibalism for her and this idea of consumerism for her is, once again, we come back to the question of, do you do it out of love, out of hatred, or out of fear? Now, this is the part where folklore comes into the stories of the gods, which I adore so much. I love the idea of folklore and how stories about gods change from time to time and the original plot gets lost. The idea about Xanthus is that the reason why she is known to be someone who had basically committed cannibalism and still continues to commit cannibalism to this day, is because there is a famous story about her where there was a man that she was in love with who was in love with another woman. Now, it's not discussed whether or not she ate him out of jealousy, out of fear, out of love or hatred, but it's this idea that she still consumed him anyways, and it is left up to the people of Talmori to just, speculate why she did it in the first place. All we care about as the players and as, people who are learning about this lore, that she consumed anyway. She participated in in something that is morally heinous, and it is something that is so difficult to wrap our brains around, because it's like, why would you do something like this?
Literally, yeah, I understand. Which is pretty cool. I really like the concept that you did, honestly. It's pretty cool.
She's still a work in progress, in my opinion, but honestly, I didn't think I'd get to this point. I didn't think I'd get this far. I didn't think we'd get to a point of, what happens if a god consumes? What happens if because once again, like I said, the gods influence. They are, they influence the people of Talmori. They are the ones who come into this world, are the ones who influence the children of Talmori, and the way that the children of Talmori act even to this day was caused by the gods themselves. It was inspired by them. If an act of cannibalism is committed by just any average person, aside from Zemthis, who, she's known to commit something like this, once again, it's just perceived as this heinous, immoral act. Who would have inspired that for someone to do such a thing in such a disgusting kind of way? She did. Which is why I think it's so cool.
Based.
But yeah, so honestly, base your gods, your characters on the things that they worship, or like the nature that is around them, because it makes a lot of good lore. It's so cool.
And basically, it does. Oh, my music died. And also, it does make sense with the lore itself. Like, because the whole point, like, in D&D, right? In 5e, at least. But I think that was for the other editions as well. Gods only have powers because they have worshippers. And the less worshippers they have, the less powers a god has. That's why a god steps up, or, sends paladins or clerics and, champions of them to defeat the evil when... people start dying because they're losing worshippers. That's the whole point. Well, of course, they can do it also from the kindness of their hearts, but the major point is because they're gonna lose powers if they
Yeah. Which is such an interesting thing as well, which I did also discuss this with you too, is this idea that within our world, it's this belief of, gods are perfect beings that we strive to be like, because, it's about ascension, being better than ourselves on this godforsaken planet. In the case of Talmori and the world that I have developed, the gods are imperfect for a reason. They're not meant to be great. In fact, it's a good thing that they're not great, because once again, they influence. Them being imperfect is a reflection of the children of Talmori also being imperfect, because you learn from your ancestors, from your elders, from the past, who to learn better from than from those who created you. From the people who literally molded you into who you are. Like, that's insane to think about.
No, you're absolutely right. It is pretty well written. He did a very good job with that, honestly.
We love an immoral cannibalistic queen.
We do, exactly, Rod.
It's so... the thing about her though is, and this goes the same for all the gods of Talmori, is that I've wanted them all to have tragic backstories for the longest time anyways, because I said this to Korn as well, and I don't mind telling this to everyone else. I'm a big sucker for like Shakespearean tragedies. To input that into the gods and to, you know, have that little bit of spice, the reason why people do things, all that kind of jazz, is just so intriguing to me. And I love it because it just develops the story even further. It gives players as well, I feel, in a way, a reason to understand more about the world. I can develop all this stuff and the players cannot give two damns about the gods. I don't mind about that. Just know that there is always going to be an underlying reason as to why people do certain things. And usually it'll relate back to the gods that they worship or the gods that made them who they are. So
Made them who they are. Absolutely, yeah.
Slay!
Slay! Slay, queen, slay! Quite literally, slay, queen, slay, true.
But enough about my campaign, because I can yap about that all day, and we would not leave here at all. We'd be stuck here for hours talking about it. You, however, Sir Korn, have been in the works with something for a while.
Oh, I have. Oh, chat. For those who don't, well, newsflash, everyone. I'm a big fan of VTubers. And I'm a big fan of
in case you couldn't tell.
In case you couldn't tell. And I'm a big fan of D&D. So back in when I started writing, I think it was 2023. Yeah, last year. Last year I began writing what I like to call the VTuber, Korn's VTuber campaign. That's what I call it. And it is basically the world of VTubing as we know. Basically turn into a D&D setting. So you have the pantheons, which are basically Hololive, Nijisanji, Shoujo, indie streamers. And, you know, each member is technically a god, and then the nations or the world are at a war at the moment, which I like to call it the all-out war. Reference for those that don't know. If you know it, you know it. But I had to rewrite that campaign recently, as of February 2024, because of all that happened in Nijisanji in particular. For those who know.
Because of all the shit that went down.
Exactly. So, you know, instead of making Nijisanji the pantheon, basically they are kind of the villains of the world now. And
Yikes. What a turn of events.
What a turn of events. And instead of being like a free-for-all kind of war, it's basically two sides. You have, you know, Nijisanji in one side and all the other companies in the other. So that's what I'm writing. Well, like it's not, I'm not close to finish it, but that's basically the setting, right? And now I need to think of like how to introduce characters to that setting, because you know I got the story, like that part of the story, like the pantheon of the gods made. I need now to do like the world building stuff.
Which can take so long.
Which takes it takes a lot of time. It
takes so much time. If it wasn't obvious for me, everybody, how long it's been taking me to world build, imagine how long it's gonna take for Korn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Notice, chat, that she very subtly said that she's a superior DM than I am, by the way. Saying that she's better at this than I am, by the way.
No, I did not. How dare you?
That's what you just said.
I did not. I did not.
Guys, if it's hard for me, imagine how hard it will be for Korn. That's literally what you said.
It's hard for every DM, honestly. If I'm completely honest, it's difficult to world build in general.
It's hard for everyone.
Honestly, please give more love to your DMs because we try our hardest. We do what we can.
Yeah. Oh, also, this past weekend, actually, I started a mini campaign as well with the people, well, some people from the other lanes SMP.
Oh!
Which is Aya, Avi, RC, Jeff, and Lumi. And we started a mini campaign. Pretty good. I don't know if you heard about. There is this like mini competition. Well, that's basically like old lore, but there is this mini competition between the city of Neverwinter and a northern city called Luskan, which is technically from another kingdom. And basically, they're like at odds for a while for a big chunk of the new era, like since 1300s DR up to current year, what I think is 1480 something.
Damn.
So they have been basically like at odds and basically like not like more like a cold war, like espionage and like, but they want to take each other down. And I'm exploring that particular area, which is north of Neverwinter, with the party. So they were sent to this town in basically, which is in the middle between Neverwinter and Luskan, called Port Last, which is an actual also city in the lore. And well, spoilers. So if you are from my party and you're listening to this, please mute. Get the fuck out. But,
please get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and at some point, Luskan does invade Port Last. And basically they destroy everything because they want to take over Port Last.
Damn.
Because Luskan is basically a naval city. So they have a very good naval military. And Neverwinter doesn't.
They rule the seas.
They rule the seas, basically. And Port Last is a giant portuary city that's closer to Neverwinter. So it's a great spot to have the fleet of Luskan to stay in there. So they want to take over Port Last. And basically the players will be caught and basically the crossfire, and they will have a choice to either, you know, help Port Last and help Neverwinter, because Port Last is allied to Neverwinter, or betray them and help Luskan take over Port Last and maybe eventually Neverwinter itself. So that's going to be the mini campaign for them, and I'm very excited to. We had like basically a session 0, and then last weekend was the first session, and I had a lot of fun. I hope they had fun too.
That's so cool! Oh my goodness.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's because that's the thing. Like, if you want tips, if you want to be a DM that like, I don't want to run a module because, you know, a module basically is all said and done, but you also don't want to build a whole world from 0. I highly recommend. There is a site that's basically an interactive map of Faerun, basically, and they have basically all the cities, all the locations from everything that's in the lore, that's canon, basically. And they have the different years of all these happenings. You know, have the spell plague. So one thing that I suggest to DMs which is basically me at this point, that have run modules, want to do something extra than just run modules, but don't want to create a whole world. Checking out the stories in the canon, you can have a lot of inspiration to like build a campaign around it. Because along the years of D&D, a lot has happened in Faerun, and you can focus on a specific thing, right? The spell plague was something that was insane. And up to this day, people don't like running it because it's basically D&D without magic. Because that was, I think, the 3rd or 2nd time when Mystra died. And basically magic ceased to exist. The weave ceased to exist. So it's basically D&D with no magic. Because nobody could cast magic. Because the weave didn't exist.
Honestly, deserved. Yeah. I'm sorry, I have to say that. Deserved.
She
deserves it.
Don't say that. Look. Mystra has her problems,
okay,
but
spoilers, but deserved.
I need my magic, okay? You know, how can I be a wizard without the weave? If the weave fails, I'm fucked.
I don't know, give it to someone else who isn't a groomer. Please, jeez.
Listen, I can fix her.
Not this again. Not this again. I can't
Oh, true.
I can't say this anymore.
I thought that's what all the extra lore and stuff, most established settings are for, like supposed to be detailed enough to give an idea to the DMs. Yes, Rod, but that's the point actually. That's the point. But yeah, there's also that. But a lot of DMs don't know that that's the thing, right? People think that only the modules like Descent into Avernus, Tomb of Annihilation, the Curse of Strahd, the only thing that those are the canon events, and they are also canon events. But throughout the entire Free run, even the places that nobody goes, like Mastica, for example, you know, anything that's not the Sword Coast in Cholt, every other continent, like Kalimshan has a lot of history and a lot of potential for like a lot of happenings, a lot of wars, a lot of conflict. But people really don't read into that, and they are really good, like, to create stories. They're really good, like, settings for stories.
Keyword. Just use Faerun.
Just use Faerun, yeah.
Keyword. Just use Faerun.
Yeah, because it's a lot. I mean, that's a suggestion because a lot of stuff is already established, but it's not like set to stone. Like, oh, this story with these characters, with this storyline, you know, like modules are. So it's open ended, so you don't have to do everything, but you still have a lot of room to add your own stuff. Ew, Faerun, ew. Yeah, Rod is the type of DM that likes to create his own stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure Rod is focusing on Pathfinder 2nd edition as far as I know. And he made a whole world with a lot of lore. Like, I was invited to play in that campaign, but I had to stop because I didn't have time. But there were like messages and channels on Discord with all the lore, like governments and like dialects, and like Rod goes pretty deep when he works on this stuff.
I appreciate that. That's actually so good.
That was pretty good.
There's just so much detail you can go into, and like I said to you before as well, perhaps this detail won't matter to the players later on. That's okay, so long as if they ask me, why did this happen? Read it up. Read it up, it's there.
Exactly. Like, for example, in this mini campaign for the Otherlands, Port Last has a tavern that's called the Jack and Saber. That's the only information that I have from the lore, at least that I could find online, is that they have a tavern called the Jack and Saber, but they don't say who runs it, like what type of characters are there, if there's any problems in there. So that basically made me build on top of that. So I took the name Jack and Saber. So what I did, I made the owner be a human named Jack, and he has a living blade of disaster that works with him that's called Saber, and that's basically the cook of the place.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then the party convinced Saber that Jack was in love with her, and you know, that's just party shenanigans. But I built over that, so because Jack and Saber, you could literally make anything in there. So like, oh, a saber. So I can, and there's the living blade of disaster creature. I can make that being like one of the owners. And that's basically how world building goes for me. Like, I just do goofy stuff from time to time. That's funny.
No, but that's so good though. That's actually so good. This is the thing as well. I think that gets underrated about world building is like you said, there is this case of it's already made for you, which is what a module is. If you don't want that, usually the next step is to, world build. If you don't want that, just take the material that already exists. The whole idea of like, well, but it's not going to be canon. It's canon to you and your players at your table. Yeah. That's all that matters. Yeah. Nobody cares about anything else. It's a special moment to your players and your players alone. That's all you should really care about.
True. Bottom line, thank you for summing it up, Macro.
You're welcome. Corn's very much a by the seat of his pants when it comes to world building, and it works well for him because he's very inventive and creative. See, that's the thing. That's what I mean. You're a really good a good example of taking the material that already exists and
Adding a
making
twist,
a
yeah.
huge little twist, and it turns into a big combustion of magic. Okay, that's all we need.
Yeah, it works. Also, I like that. I like that expression. By the seat of his pants. I never heard that before, but that's cool.
Such a good expression.
I'll take the compliment, Ra. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's so good. It's beautiful.
That's so
But yeah,
funny.
honestly, for us as DMs, there's a lot that we do. I think there's a lot of horror stories that a lot of DMs come out with as well. I know there's a lot of horrors that players also talk about too. We could go through the whole entire Reddit page for D&D for all those shenanigans.
Oh yeah, the horror stories, yeah.
Bruh, but
Insane.
like I said, at the end of the day, what matters most is that you're having fun. That's literally all that matters.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's
And
the whole.
as DMs, I speak more for myself, but I even believe that Korn also believes in this as well. As DMs, we make our priority the whole fun of the table. That's literally all it is. If it's not fun,
Absolutely.
then what's the point?
That's the whole point. Like, and a lot of DMs forget about it. They think like, oh, the players are the ones that should have fun. But no, everybody should have fun playing the game,
Yeah.
including the DM. If the DM is not having
Exactly.
fun, then that needs to change, because the DM is also part of the game. It's also why they're
Yeah.
doing that in the first place. So yeah.
That's why session zeros are important, everybody. Remember that.
Exactly. Session
Don't you
zeros are so
forget about
important.
that.
Session zeros are so important. It's insane how many problems are avoided for having a simple session zero.
Or having just a simple sit down talk. Okay, I don't want this, and this. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah. Simple as that. Simple as that.
It's so easy. It's just a discussion, really. And like I said to you, and I also would like to explicitly tell everybody else this as well. For me, there's always the session zero, and then there's also the private session zeros that I have with my players as a one-on-one in case there are things that didn't get out. Those are very important to me because it's not just an opportunity to, reevaluate with an individual, like what do you specifically want, so that their voice actually gets heard, but it's also a really good opportunity to be able to talk with them about their characters and the expectations they have for their characters, which direction they would like their story to go, how they would like their story to be developed, all that kind of jazz, because that's important. It's important to allow your players to have a spotlight once in a while, and the best way to do that is to discuss with them as to how they would like that to happen.
Absolutely.
Make sure you have these discussions, guys. This is the advice segment for D&D.
Yeah, the advice segment, exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah. Also, I think it also comes down to, and this is more for like DMs that have to talk with veteran players, because like we were talking about the horror stories, like D&D veteran players of D&D, they have a lot of luggage. And by that,
for sure. Don't even get me started.
yeah, and by that I mean they had positive and negative experience in the past, and that might make them either not come out of their shell or be very, very worried if something happens. That's also the point of session zeros, because like there are players, like for example my TOA campaign, I'm the type of DM that I'm very loose of like party. So like if at some point the party hate each other, they want to like fight each other, I'm okay with that. But I know some people are not okay with that, and that is something that is discussed with the person. They will know, oh, okay, so this is I don't want. Some people don't like even the possibility for that to happen. And that's the reason why one person didn't join my TOA game, because I said if it happens, it happens. I'm okay with that. It's up to the party. So they didn't join, and that's okay. It's okay. It's also okay to say no, guys. Either as a DM and a player, it's very okay to say no.
We are reapplying consent
Real life
here.
Consent.
Reapplying it once again. If you don't like it, if you don't want the tea, you can say no. If you want the tea, but then don't want it later, you say no.
Exactly. Exactly.
Say no, yes indeed, Groovy. Exactly.
Session zeros are really useful, but you also gotta remember to keep checking up on the players over the course of your campaign. Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, true, Ron. To make sure it's enjoyable.
Yeah. Also to, reestablish ties, make sure that, look, I remember you said this during our session 0 and even in our 101. Do you still feel okay to do this now? Like, it's literally, like you said, check-ins. Because sometimes, like I said before, people are okay with things initially and then they're not okay with them later on when they end up happening. That is perfectly okay. That is okay if they're not comfortable with that. Discussions are in place, compromising, all that jazz. That is perfectly fine to have those conversations. Literally, just consent. Why is that so hard?
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard, guys.
So hard?
You shouldn't be hard, honestly. Safe, sane, consensual. Exactly, Rod. I would say that's the sane part is optional, myself. But safe and consensual, absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you mean by optional?
Because sometimes D&D gets wacky, I'm always open for some wackiness, I would say
right.
You would. Okay, Red. But like I can attest for like Cake's campaign, for example. There is nothing insane about 70% of that campaign. I can attest to that because 30% of that 70% it's my fault. So if you have fun,
even know how that happens, honestly.
I think it's because I basically made a character, and because I failed everything that I did on the very first session, I basically made the character like a meme. And I just roll with it. I just roll with the meme, I just do it for the bit at this point. And I've been doing the bit for like 2 years at this point.
Literally said, I've been going for this long. I don't think there's a reason to stop now.
yeah, it's the bit. I can't just turn Kaladas into a serious character now because that's not him. Or in this case, her, because he got body swap. But besides the point. You just also happen to be fighting other villains. True. We are technically. I would say that our party are pretty much. We do good things from time to time, but in like the overall arch of like the entire world, we are basically the villains. Well, I wouldn't say accidentally, but like unintentionally.
Look, if you have to say we're kind of the villains, you are the villains.
Nah.
There ain't no. We're kind of okay. We sometimes do some good things.
There are like actual good people in the party, and like I like to think my character, he has good intentions. He just has terrible execution, and he's very impulsive and does stuff that a lot of times lead to entire races being destroyed. But he had good intentions, He had good intentions. He can. He
promises he didn't mean to do this.
He didn't. He wanted to save them, but then ended up dooming them forever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's also fun to play.
But you know what? That's true. It is what it is.
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 Okay, I have an idea, right? Because we were talking about what is it? The D&D Reddit page. I don't think we've actually fully been able to grasp how bad some horror stories can go for D&D campaigns. So, what do you think about us reading and deciphering table disputes?
Oh, I'll absolutely. I'll love that. That sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's scroll through. I'm gonna close my eyes and then have my mouse land on something. And wah! Spiraling toward PvP. Oh,
That sounds like half of the. Yeah, that's Cake's campaign right there.
yeah.
That's Cake's campaign right there. Can you share your screen? Does that work?
Yes, I can.
Yay.
Hold on. Let me share it with everyone in the background as well, and then also share it to you on Discord.
Yeah, let me add Discord. Is it a window capture?
Okay, cool. Go live. There we go. Cool. Okay. This one looks a little interesting, to be honest, because I think touching on the concept of PvPs and players not being comfortable with that. This is probably a really good dispute to read about.
Okay, let me 1 second. Discord. Add. Oh, already used? What do you mean it's already used? I can't find it. Oh, sorry.
Dun 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 dun.
No, no, the pressure.
Dun 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 dun.
Discourage shit. There you go.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm kidding.
Gonna die, chat.
Okay,
Okay, let me just.
you're gonna die.
Gonna die, chat. Let me just do this. Then I did this, and then I need to.
A little bit off topic.
Uh-huh.
This is our first tangent, but then we're gonna come back to what we were talking about anyways. You know what we should play? We should play keep talking and no one dies or whatever.
And nobody explodes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, when I woke up, I was like cycling through Twitter for a while. I literally thought that. I was like, oh, me and my friend should play that at some point. I'm not gonna lie.
We should be playing this sometime.
Yeah, like actually, I did think about it today. Okay, let me just put me.
Is this what we
behind.
call us being in sync, but it's a tad bit delayed?
A tad bit, yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. It's like
There you
hours
go.
delay, but we're
Hopefully
both
chat
thinking
can
the same
see
thing.
this. There you go.
Can you guys see that?
Kind of small. Can you zoom in a little bit on the browser itself?
Ow! Hi,
Uh-oh.
KJ. Thank you for
Oh,
the
hi,
sub.
Luke. Thank you for the headphones. Let me do headphones real quick.
Num 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 num. Thank you for the headpad too, Luke.
Yay! Let me do their headphones real quick because it's not automatic for some reason. There you go.
Headpads.
Yay! Same brain cell,
Okay.
literally.
Literally, I can't even. This is once again. We're going on a bit of a tangent. But we're coming back. I can't fathom to all of you how in sync him and I can be on occasion
Yeah.
to a point of it can get super duper scary. It's
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
It gets scary sometimes. True.
Bruh. Ain't no way. Get out of my head.
Yeah.
Get out of my head.
You were in my head. You get out.
You're in mine.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Can you zoom in just a little bit, like on the browser itself? There you go. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, cool. So this
Thank you for the
is
sub, KJ. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Love you too. Mwah.
Mwah. Okay, you two. Save it for the honeymoon.
Yay.
Okay, so this is spiraling toward PvP. So this is a table dispute someone had. Hey all, need your opinion on something that is happening on the table I'm playing and that is not making me happy. There's this guy in my party that is playing a wild magic barbarian character. He specifically agreed with the DM a custom wild magic table with hundreds of effects that are very powerful, complex to manage. How those effects play out in combat take a lot of time and discussion, and always make the life of the party more difficult. Don't find this particularly respectful to the other player, but I can live with that. What is worrying me the most is his interpretation, because he probably agreed with the DM of being some sort of berserker and not fully in control of his rage and powers. DM handling of this is not very good. By rule, it's the player that chooses to rage, and the DM never gave us a hint that the character is not in control of his actions. On the other hand, the player is expecting the DM to say something to lift the character and the player from any moral responsibilities for his actions, and the DM puts the choice on the player back. I'm not in general opposed to troubled, cursed, or even violent characters, but I have the impression that the character is probably badly conceived and handled. It also happened before that he attacked for a short time one of the players, but was more of a scene than a real PvP scene. However, I have the impression that things are spiraling towards PvP with each session, and I don't think anyone at the table is particularly prepared for that. What do you think about that? Has that ever happened to you? The player in question does not take well to feedbacks or critics. Do you think I should wait for things to play out, or that I should try to prevent the problem? Oh boy.
Oh my god.
This is a case of... This isn't even like a separation of, oh, it's DM's fault, it's the player's fault. It is both the DM and the player collaborating, I feel, on this one issue.
Okay, first things first, I understand changing the wild magic barbarian, that subclass is kind of garbage, but to the point of adding like a custom wild magic, I know people do that for sorcerers too. That is all good and okay if, you know, the effects in there, one, if they affect the party, I think the party should have been able to weigh in on it. Like, because the normal wild magic table, I think the most it can do to the party is either fireball, or I think it's fairy fire, if not mistaken, or something like that. And that's base. If they, because he does say like a lot of power, like powerful with hundreds of effects that are very powerful, complex to manage. Like, I think the party should be able to weigh in on that, if that's the case. Like, hey, this guy wants to do this with a character. What do you guys think? Any suggestions? I think it should be a group, even though it's the guy's character, because it probably affects the group. It should be something that would have been discussed with the group itself.
Yeah.
Right? And then the fact that the DM makes him rage? Is that I understand from that? I'm
understanding it as that, yeah, where hold on, where is it?
DM handling is not very good. By rule, it's the player that chooses to rage. The DM never gave us a hint that the character is not in control of his actions. That's crazy.
The player is still choosing to rage, but the other players are not aware that the character themselves is unable to control said rage. Which obviously, typically for a barbarian, as we know, rage is, it's controlled. It's not a big problem.
It's just action. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck? I'm so confused. Why did this happen? How?
Yeah.
How did it get this bad?
I can see. Okay. I think I can. I'm gonna try to decipher what's happening. I think the DM wants to do something in the story or in the world, whatever, and they want to connect it to the party, and by that, probably this is where the magic, the wild magic table comes from. But it's never a good idea to take away player agency.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want the players to have something with your story, something special, it's okay. You can give them something, but at the very least, give them the agency to choose to use said thing. Or if you really want something to happen, and that it also can open a whole different can of worms. You could have an NPC that has that, and the NPC is under your control. But then it comes down to the DMPC logic that I'm not a big fan of, and there's all those kind of problems. But it's never a good idea to take away player agency. It's never a good idea. Even if it is the DM and the barbarian player doing it in secret, that's different. Like, oh, I want to rage, but they can't know. That's probably it's not as bad. But by the way I'm reading this,
that doesn't make sense either, though.
It doesn't make sense.
I want to rage, but like they can't. Okay, remember sometimes how like we sometimes apply logic to D&D? That's another thing to bear in mind as well. Yeah, it's a fantasy, but like let's also remember that there is a somewhat sense of logic that needs to be applied to the game. Absolutely. Raging, as we all understand on a mutual level, is, to be enraged. When you're enraged, you're pissed. There is no hiding that.
It is pretty obvious, It is.
Yeah, it's obvious that it's happening because as we ideally understand it as D&D players is that when you rage, it's like a yell and like I'm gonna fight something. That's basically what it is. Yeah, I'm outraged. Yeah, literally. It happens right in front of you. The fact that it's implied that the characters are not meant to know, you're basically just telling me that the enragement is bottled. And that doesn't make sense to me at all.
I can see... Like, I knew a player that he had a character that his rage is basically the character going into, like, it's disassociating and entering, like, this kind of state of just, like, they weren't, like, screaming and, like, raging, but they were disassociating. But it was still obvious. Okay, mechanically, they could still tell that he was raging. It's not something that was secret, even though it technically was. But it's something that you should be able to notice. Because, it does change the fact of, like, for example, for I don't remember the name of the barbarian. Zealot barbarian, for example.
Yeah.
That, I think they get a bonuses to to be resurrected, for example. So let's just say that you don't know that character is a barbarian because, technically you can't tell a difference between a barbarian and a fighter until the barbarian rages.
Yeah. You're actually right about that.
There is like these things that can also be discussed, and then it becomes meta knowledge, like, oh, I know you're a barbarian because we're playing a game and you're the barbarian.
Yeah.
I can see that as being a problem. But yeah, I think the biggest problem for me is the wild magic list that probably affects the whole party and hasn't been discussed with the whole party. And taking the player agency.
Yeah, that's my big problem too, as well. The agency aspect, as well as the other players haven't been considered in this situation. It is quite literally, from what it feels like, a one-on-one with just the DM and this one player, and nobody else is aware. That's such a bad spot to be in a campaign at the table when your other players haven't got a clue what's happening. If they don't know what's happening, they're not going to get the entire plot of the game, period. Even if that one thing that they don't understand is small. It's still a big thing to make sure that everybody is aware of what's happening.
Exactly.
Bruh. Where is the discussion? Where is the... What happened to session 0? Oh my goodness. Reiterating. Once again, session 0 is so important. And also doing a check-in every now and then is also so important. Where the fuck did that go?
Exactly. And I don't think this even is a session, because like this could be implemented in the middle of a campaign, no problem. But it has to be discussed with everyone beforehand. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh, welcome to the chat, Pi. Don't worry.
Hi, Pi.
KJ and I, we're married, Pi. Sorry. So let us have our moments, okay? Welcome to the
Help
chat.
me,
I'll go to the chat.
Pie. They keep smooching in front of me. It's embarrassing.
You just hate love.
I don't. Okay. I
I'm
don't.
joking. I'm joking. High
I
five.
don't hate love. I have a. I don't even know. Stop being happy all the time. Damn. Stop being so goddamn happy.
Why is Cornelius having bitches weird? Okay. Okay, fine.
Real. So real. Hi, Shoujo girl.
Oh yeah, Goo. That's also that. Yeah.
Doesn't he just suit it? He suits being the shoujo girl.
Goom is such a tsundere too. It's perfect. Perfect
He
fit.
is. Thank you for agreeing with me because he doesn't think he is.
Oh, brother. I have to disagree with you there.
I've got some news for you.
I think Pi is still more at tsundere than him, but Bagoom is like very, very tsundere.
He is very tsundere. It's
He
wild.
is. Not a damn tsundere. Well, that's a very tsundere thing to say, by the way. Yeah.
Exactly. Only tsunderes would say that.
Yes, you. See,
Unfortunately,
another
that's one of my
tsundere thing to
DM's
say.
favorite ploys to have multiple hidden conversations, but I think it doesn't add anything. Yeah, see, the hidden conversation thing, it's a plot that can work sometimes when it's like character arc shenanigans, but if it's like, for example, like just a regular general quest, and you're putting that stuff in there where everybody needs to be aware about this thing, but you're just choosing to nitpick who knows things and who doesn't know things. Bruh, that doesn't make any sense to me. What the heck?
That's I have a system like in my campaigns. I have we call it the 101 chat. It's basically like something happens to your character. We can move to a separate voice chat, and I tell them what happens, because some things maybe the player or the character doesn't want to tell the party right away, right? So I give them their choice, but it's not something that is like something that like I say one thing to a player and another thing to another player, so there's like conflicting information. No, if there's a secret going around, if one or multiple players know, they know the same thing. It's not like I'm keeping information from one player and giving it to the other, because that just creates conflict at some point, even like between the DM and the players.
The only time I think, once again, that I will ever allow something like this is if I'm using my homebrew idea, which I will admit, yes, it came from somewhere else, but I do want to implement it at some point. If it's intentional that there are meant to be secrets and the players are aware that there are meant to be secrets, then that's the only time that should be implemented, because at least they are still in the know about what's happening and that kind of thing is expected. To just toss it in there like it's nothing and then for everybody to be so lost makes no sense. You've lost the plot at that point.
Absolutely. I agree.
They're still going on about tsunderes.
Yes, they are. Someday maybe that could be me, Cronin, but okay, KJ. Calm down now.
At least I'm not the childhood friend. What's up with the childhood friend? What's wrong with that?
I don't know that one. What's happening? Yes, of course, Daddy. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Okay. We're going there, huh?
The childhood friend never wins. The childhood friend wins on certain occasions. It's about tropes, Gooming, and you know that. You know that exactly.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good point. Jesus, it's chaotic. It's okay. It's the community I harbor, Goom. Make yourself at home.
You've got a debate club going on in your chat.
The second male lead complex. That's a good point. That's actually a pretty way to summarize it. The second male lead.
Okay, but the second male lead is different to the childhood friend. Like those
Uh-huh.
two can be two separate things, and then they can also be two combined things. The second male lead is the one character in a K-drama you feel sorry for because they don't get the girl. Now, granted, sometimes they don't even deserve the girl, but in other cases, they definitely
Yeah,
deserve
good
the
point.
girl.
This is a good point.
And it's like, well, if she can't love you, I'll love you. That's literally how it goes every single time.
I'm thinking about the. No, yeah, absolutely. For example, the one of the classic example game, Samwise from Lord of the Rings. He gets everything. He saves Frodo. He goes back to the Shire, like marries his like childhood sweetheart, and has like 500 children. Yeah, he wins. Yeah, I'll call that a win. He wins.
That is a win. That is
That
a
is a
huge win.
Who's Samwise? There's no.
Oh wait, he hasn't seen Lord of the Rings. That's right. I
What?
forgot about that. He hasn't seen it.
I'm IRL shaking my head right now.
I will
actually
add it to
shaking
the
my head
list. I'll add it to our movie night. Oh my goodness. Before you two break out into a fight, I'll add it to the list. Oh my gosh.
Like Luna, like a friend of mine, Luna, he also like doesn't see a lot of movies. I think he saw Lord of the Rings. Maybe. I might be wrong with it. I may remember wrong.
The childhood friend is sometimes the annoying rival who's just staying for an episode if he's lucky.
That's a good point. That sometimes, yeah, like the one from Pokemon.
Yeah, it really just
Gary?
depends on the plot of the show and what direction it's going in. Because the childhood friend sometimes wins and then sometimes loses. So it's just it's plot based. It depends.
Exactly.
It also depends on the media you're consuming, Gooby. So
Yeah, or sometimes, you know, the childhood friend marries the main character, like for example Mushoku Tensei. That works, yeah. I'll never watch. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Goon. You should watch it.
look, we will do a marathon of it if we have to.
We should. It holds up to this day. It's one of the
It does.
It's one of the best.
I agree,
fantasy movies
100%.
ever made.
It does hold up to this day.
It does, because it's all practical. Like you barely see any CGI in it, and the story, it's so good. The actors did a fantastic job playing the characters. It's so good.
Side note, Corn, have you noticed what we've just done?
What? What have you
We've
done?
just gone onto a huge tangent.
Yes, we have. We moved. We moved.
We
God damn it.
moved. You know what? Fuck this. We're done with this talk. Let's talk about
Let's talk about. Let's talk about Lord of the Rings. No, for real, that's a fantastic trilogy. Lord of the Rings, is fantastic.
It is so good. Lord of the Rings is just ugh. I don't know. How do you feel about The Hobbit? Because I feel very differently about the two.
Is like you can't make perfection twice. Right?
That is fair. Yes, you're right.
The Hobbit had the potential, not nearly as good as the original trilogy. Not nearly
for
as
sure.
good. They had their moments. It's cool, you know. They have cool stuff that came out of it, but it wasn't as impactful, I guess. It wasn't as impactful. Like they had good stuff. They had Legolas. They had I really like the story of the dwarves, but it wasn't as impactful. Is it because Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, is so iconic because literally nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about it, right? Unless I'm crazy. Nobody knew about the Lord of the Rings. Like, of course, the books were kind of popular, but the movie really made it mainstream, and it was a surprise.
Oh yeah.
Like, people were like, "What the hell? This is the best thing they ever watched." Not Dr. Phil. This has been the most productive ever. We cleaned the house. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
as
yeah.
it should. Honestly, Lord of the Rings put New Zealand on the map, so I'm really happy.
Also, that yeah, lots of people I'll guarantee you, if you ask somebody on Brazil that wants to go to New Zealand, if you ask them why they want to go there, it's like, oh, because of Lord of the Rings. Like, the place is beautiful. Literally, I'm not even joking. I never seen somebody say in Brazil that they want to go to New Zealand if not for the Lord of the Rings. Like, for real. I'm not even joking.
The biggest flex I have for like fans of Lord of the Rings. So I don't mind telling people this. I grew up in New Zealand, in Wellington specifically. That's my hometown. In Wellington, there is a place called Mount Victoria, and there is a bushwalk you can take. The scene in the very first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, where all the hobbits hide in that like little ditch on the side to get away. That is where that spot was filmed. It's there. It's right there.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
That is my biggest flex, as I can tell people like, yeah, I used to walk this trail, and like me and my siblings would hide in here and reenact it. It's really funny.
That's so cool. That is actually so cool.
Go on a trip to New Zealand and invite me, and I'll be your tour guide. I haven't been in ages. It's been a hot minute since I've been back home.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. One day. Oh, thank you for the follow, Dr. Phil. Not Dr. Phil,
hey!
sorry. Thank you for the follow.
Why a shoujo, not a josei? I don't think you would fit in a josei, Groomy. In the most respectful way, I don't think you would fit in a jersey.
That's kind of disrespectful, but I get it.
Do you think you could handle the drama that comes with jerseys? I know Shoujo has it, but we saw that scene in Nana. That was hellishly dramatic. Do you think you could put up with that?
Bro, I gotta watch Nana.
We should watch it. We need to, you know what we need? We need to watch more movies together, and we need to have an anime night.
The anime night, hell yeah.
Nope, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. It is hard out here being in a josei. Maka is a hobbit confirmed. I mean, if I wasn't so tall... Maybe.
Oh yeah, you're tall. How tall are you again? Sorry.
I think it's confirmed now that I am 5'8", because one of my work colleagues, we have measuring tapes at work because I work in a warehouse. I was like, I actually don't know how tall I am. And he's like, okay, stand up against the wall and I'll measure you. And I was like, okay. And then he measures me and he's like, yeah, you're like 177. And I was like, okay, that's like roughly 5'8", almost.
Based. I am taller than you, so I'm happy.
You're 6 foot, aren't you?
I'm 6 foot. Yeah, I'm 183 centimeters. Let's go.
I can 100% confirm to everybody. I don't even have to know this. For reference, right? 5'8" compared to 6 foot, because my older sister is 6 foot. I would come up to like the bridge of Korn's nose. That's how tall I am.
True. Oh damn, Korn's taller than me. Yeah, Rod. I've been saying I'm tall. No, I haven't been saying I'm taller than you. I've been saying my height for a while. Yeah, 6 foot.
It's on your debut stream, isn't it?
It's on my debut stream. It's pretty sure it's on my pinned tweet. Yeah. I don't listen. I know, Rod. I know you don't. That's why your characters die in D&D, by the way. Because don't listen. I'm joking.
Because you don't listen.
I'm joking.
Damn. Brutal out here.
Nah, to be fair. Have you played Tumo Annihilation by any chance, Macaron?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Bruh, it's so I'm sorry, Rod. I'm joking. It doesn't like that. It's such because like Tomb of Annihilation, it is designed to be like the hard D&D, like the D&D that like your character can die at any session, and it's really bad.
Sit on the edge of your seat because you may not survive.
Yeah, Korn does give those vibes. What vibes? What the hell? Oh,
is it the Hornelius comment? Because
oh wait, Cornelius is 5'3"? No, Pi, get out of here. Get out. I did not give 5'3" energy. What the fuck? I'm gonna ban all of you. Get out of here.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. No, to be fair, if I was 5'3", I think I'd win still. I think I can rock 5'3".
You think you'd win no matter what?
I think
no matter what the circumstance. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
That's the point. I win. It doesn't matter the circumstance. I just win. Bro, you short
man.
twink vibe. Okay, Pi. What the? Where the twink comes from? Why? What?
Where's my 5'5" and under warriors? I mean, okay, for me, 5'5" seems pretty average. 5'8" is tall. It's above average. So it's so tall to a point of where I get asked very often either to participate in sports or to be a model. So
Oh my god, Rod, I'm gonna fucking kill you. But no, true. 5'8", it is actually tall. Like me being 6 foot, I always been like the tallest in most, like since school. I usually the tallest in the room. And it's 6 foot's not that like big. So yeah, it is tall. It is like tall, yeah.
5'8" a model, yeah. The thing is, when I'm wearing heels, Pi, I think I'm like 5'10", so I can be very tall.
That's kind of based, honestly. Wait,
yeah. Actually, fun fact for everyone, right? I was going to be a model. The problem is the closest model agency is either in the city or like another 2 hours away from me. So
you should still do it.
I should still do it.
You should still do it, honestly.
Make quick bucks.
Yeah, make money.
Quick bucks.
Yeah.
Make money. Make bank.
Wait, if Corn is seen as a twink, Goom, if I'm seen as a twink, Goom, you don't
want to know what you'll want to be seen as.
You're in trouble, buddy.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. If
you don't want to know what you are.
I know what you are.
I know what you are.
Didn't say anything else. You're fine. You're fine.
Not a model. I mean, I'll consider it. It's a ways out for me. That's all. And I've been insecure about things about me for years, but then like I think about 4 years ago I got a little bit confident over things, but I don't know. We'll see. Do the model thing. We'll see. I've heard the horror stories about models, and it's kind of terrifying.
Oh yeah, there's also that. Like you have to be like, be sure.
Like it could be really like full on in the modeling industry. Yeah. So it's really terrifying.
Yeah, for sure. No, you need to be safe. I understand. Yeah, but you know, if you do find something that's like normal and then good, I suggest. Like I think I've only seen your hands because of the one post with you wearing the cardboard cutout mask of the T1.
That's my favorite. I love that so much. Yeah. It's so good.
like you could be like a hand model. Your hands are really pretty, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
True.
I believe in you, Mecca. Okay, I will become a model first then. Look, if you become a model, I'll become a model. Okay, so
let's go, chat. Let's go.
Actually just do like photography instead of just being on the runway all the time. It just be like, you know, taking photos, which would be a lot easier if I'm completely honest.
That's fair. Jesus Christ, Rod. Poor Goon.
What is happening in the chat?
No, my chat is going on a mission for some reason. Oh, ad break. Sorry, chat.
I have to practice self-care, so give me a month to get my life in gear. Oh, good. Don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, Maka, I think you're gonna enjoy it if you ever had the opportunity to play Tomb of Annihilation, because like when I ran, at least in the Schultz, because Schultz is like the jungle, right? And he's supposed to be very hospitable. I didn't lean in as hard in that when my players were playing it. I focus more on the factions that exist in the island. But once you get into the tomb, there are some traps that are just like your character dies. Sometimes no saves either. So like it's hard. It's hard. It's rough. It's rough.
If you run it, I would be down.
I mean, yeah, I'm running right now. They're about to end it too. Like I think like a couple months they should be done because they're in basically the second to last floor, and the last floor is just basically a boss fight. So they're pretty much done.
Damn.
Like, for example, run it again. Yeah, we had a DM that I don't play with because I hate the DMs with a passion. Oh, I have a lot of stories from that DM. He runs like back to back to back every time. He like runs like almost every year. He runs to Annihilation.
Damn.
But it's not fun. It's not fun because the module itself is already difficult. He's the type of player that makes things difficult just for the sake of making things difficult, just so your character can die. No, for real. I actually dropped from his game because I was playing a character that was based on strength, was a strength character. And I wanted to climb over like a fence, which like a tall wooden wall, to like just look into the complex. And he said, because you don't have a climb speed, roll me an athletics check. And I did, and I climbed up. And I looked everything. It's like this stealth mission, so like we have been rolling so good. Nobody was doing like anything to be detected. We were doing really good. And then when I wanted to climb down, the DM say, oh, to climb down it's an acrobatics check, which is dex based. And I said, that's bullshit. Why does it need to be an acrobatics?
Did you yell that out? I hope you yelled that. That's bullshit.
I didn't because I held back, but like I was so pissed. And of course, because I was a straight, I had a -2 to dex. I failed the check, and my armor falling to the ground alerted the entire complex. And then a fight started with 50 enemies. Like, okay.
Oh no!
I never returned to that. Ah man, I never returned to that because like, bro, this is just. He knew what he was doing. He was doing that just so I could fail the check, you know, and that's just bullshit. Yeah, the Pirate Horde. This is dumb. Justice for Court, exactly, KJ. I was so pissed. I
think I'll start writing a journal of self-care to keep myself regular. Honestly, I should probably do that too. But then I guess my regular self-care to myself sometimes, if I'm feeling really down in the dumps, is just hyping myself up in the mirror. That I have no shame to admit, because sometimes you need that.
No,
sometimes you really need that.
Yeah. I don't know what self-care technically. What self-care mean? Oh, taking care of yourself. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Justice for court for what? For a
what
role
do you mean?
that wasn't even his fault.
Okay, bye. You're just a hater. You're just a hater.
Self-affirmation is a perfectly valid way for self-care. Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Because sometimes only you can give it to yourself. Other times, like, affirmation from other people is really good to a point of, where it's like a, it can be a love language as well, because words of affirmation are a point to make. But sometimes the best way to feel better about yourself is to just love yourself.
True. Yes, love yourself, Cheb. Love yourselves now.
Yes, love yourself.
Love yourselves now. What the fuck, Pai? Bruh. God damn it, Pai. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, self-care is really important. I usually don't need it, but it's really important. I should do that more often when I'm feeling down.
I usually don't eat it because he's so positive all the time. But
No, for real though. If I'm feeling a little bit down, like depending on who's streaming, I was like, okay, I'm better now. I'm happy now.
I think the one time of where I have had such a bad, like, what's the word? I've been so down in the dumps to a point of where I've actually needed to like curl up and eat ice cream was after I had my breakup like 5 years ago. That's probably the one time I can think of where it was that bad, and that was my self-care. That one time of when I was so sad, my best friend came over in a rush too, because it was like 6 a.m. in the morning when I messaged her that I was like I was feeling really bad and down the dumps, and she was like, I'm coming over. She rushes back to her house because she had to pick her siblings up from something, and then grabs ice cream, rushes to my house, barges in. Before she even comes over to me, who was sitting on the couch curled up in a blanket crying, she's like, hold on 2 seconds, goes over to the freezer, puts the ice cream in, chucks it away, and then comes over to me, and it's like, it's okay.
That's a good friend right there. That's a good friend right there.
My best friend of... How long have we been best friends for? Of 11 years now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm trying to remember what did I did when I broke up. Because I was happy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I mean, I was gonna say, I was like, for you, it was like this surge of relief, I think.
Of course in the moment when you have the talk, it was sad, but like the next day when I woke up, I felt like a wave of relief. I think like because it was in November, I think like by the end of the year, like on New Year's Eve, I usually don't drink. But I remember I drank a lot because I was basically celebrating. I was like, bro, thank God I'm out.
Party time!
Thank God. And it was really funny because back then I was watching Freerun. And like my friend Cake, they're a big fan of Freerun, and he was trying to push Freerun into me. And like as a joke, I'll say I don't like Freerun. So I was at that point I was kind of drunk. And then I think Rod posted in general like a picture of Freerun, and I said in the general chat, because I thought Rod was DMing me, and I said, oh my god, I love Freerun, but don't tell Cake though, even though like it was in general chat and Cake was in the server.
Don't tell Cake!
I was kind of drunk, and then Rod said, oh, of course, I'm never gonna tell you. And then Cake was like, what?
Huh? What did you say?
I was like, I love Freerun, but don't tell Cake. But I was God damn it, fucking bot. But yeah, it was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my god.
Macron having an ex? Well, no more. I've got 2 exes actually. So you'll have to go looking for both of them.
More than
honestly, having 2 is already rough as it is. One of them, I think I mentioned this before. One of them studied psychology and didn't believe in depression, which was really wild to me.
Wow.
And then
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then my other ex, who I dated for 2.5 years. Yeah, I was 17 when him and I had first met. Dated him for 2.5 years. Gaslight, manipulation, all that jazz on the table. Womp womp. But anyways, it's over.
I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I will take care of them. I got used to the slay.
Exactly.
KJ.
Kill them, KJ. Kill them. Kill them with a hammer.
Wild dichotomy there, to be honest. It made no sense to me. He said it with his full chest too. He was hella confident about it. He was like, you know, I don't really believe in depression. I was like, you study psychology. What do you mean you don't believe in depression? He was
That's
like,
insane.
It doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, buddy.
It's like it's like an astrophysicist saying, you know what? Maybe the Earth is flat. Maybe.
What do you mean you don't believe it? Huh?
That's kind
Nah,
of
depression
crazy.
ain't real.
Exactly, Goo. God damn it.
Oh,
It's not depression. What do people say? People say something. I forgot about it. That they say is not depression is I don't remember. Sorry, chat. I failed you.
no, it's all good.
I failed you. I don't remember.
Brain thought lost, gone.
Literally.
Take it from me, the most
Mental.
mentally healthy individual.
Now that's a very thundery thing to say.
Exactly.
Now
For
that's very
real.
thundery of you. Oh, I think
Just
my
go outside is a nice one. He's actually, I don't mind telling people this, but I won't go into details as to what happened and why. He was the reason why I took a 2-year break from streaming.
really.
Well, actually,
I'm so sad to hear.
he was one of the reasons. I think I told you the story, Korn, of what had happened. But yeah, he was half the reason why I took a 2-year break. Yeah, when we were discussing it ages ago.
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very bad. So it was work that had me preoccupied, but also he was the other half of the reason as to why I stopped streaming for 2 whole years, because it was just a personal situation that was really bad for me, as Korn knows, and fuck him.
Yeah. How
Fuck
dare
him.
How dare him? How dare
That
him?
sucks.
For real,
It does
chat.
suck. And he has traumatized me in the situation of I don't really have an interest in dating other guys. If someone comes along and, you know, I probably know them personally and, you know, we've interacted a lot and I understand them on a personal level, then yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that. If anything, friendship before being in a relationship is so much better than just straight up like jumping into dating.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a struggle. That's struggle street. That's stressful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. If you're in a relationship, you know, if it's just like, you know, a short-term thing, then okay. But like, yeah, in a relationship, being friends before like going full on, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if I did that with my ex, probably I wouldn't have fell into the trap.
I mean, the thing for you though is it was a first, and you didn't know
first.
any
I
better
didn't know
until you were
better.
out. So
Absolutely, I didn't know better. That is true. So it probably wouldn't have changed. But now I know. Yeah. I
now
agree.
you know.
I agree.
The tragedy of relationships and the benefits of them is that you don't know how bad one can be until you're out. And who knows how long it can be. It's helpful when other people tell you that it's bad, but once again, it has to be a self-realization of you deserve better and you shouldn't be going through this situation.
No, absolutely. And
Let me stab him too, KJ handed over. Not all of you wanting to stab my ex.
no, they're right. I'll join you guys. Let's fucking go. Look at me and Court, for example. We're happily married.
No, don't worry.
Yes, KJ.
I'm very happy of the situation I have placed him in because the drama behind it all, and Colin knows about this. I'll probably tell Gumi about it some other time when if the topic ever comes up again. But the funniest part about what happened to my last ex is that I realized that what he had done to me, he had done the same thing to like 4 or 5 other girls as well.
Yeah.
Now, I became associated with those said girls, and they gave me their rundown of what had happened. So much so, to a point of where basically it was like this club of haters for him, and every single time he tried talking to a new girl in town, we would be there to be like, oh my gosh, hi! We'd befriend her, and then tell her the tea, and she's like, oh, fuck, hell no. Well, yeah. If I hate your guts so much, I will make sure that people stray away from you. I'm gonna make sure that nobody wants to be around you because you don't deserve a single damn thing.
True.
Fuck you.
You're absolutely.
I hate you.
No, you're absolutely right. Which is that reminds me too. But like I felt bad when I broke up, but I didn't felt bad because I broke up. I felt bad because I remember like all the times my mom told me, you know, about like the bad signs,
Mm.
and I didn't listen, and then I felt like it's such an idiot because when you
No,
think
like I
about
said
it,
to you though,
you're
you don't know
absolutely
until
right.
you're out.
Absolutely.
Welcome
Justice for
to Bad
Macaron.
Relationships Anonymous.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is a very good D&D talk, guys. You know, the topic
Yeah, good
is very
job,
on
guys.
point. Good job, guys.
We made it to stabbing, which happens in D&D, so
Which happens? There's the connection. There you go. No
there is a
tangents.
link there.
No
That's
tangents.
D&D talk, to be honest. But yeah, no. I do think it's funny though that we do sometimes come back to this topic, which is why I'm really excited for when we do land on the love advice on the
Oh,
wheel.
Christ, I don't.
We're going to yap so hard about it. Oh my goodness, it's actually gonna be insane.
It's gonna be insane, chat. It's going to actually be insane.
Look, if anyone asks about relationships and you're like, what, in uni or whatever, heck, even if some like anonymous person says, I met this random person, just know I will say, fuck it all. Take it slow. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
be fast paced. In fact, don't even enter a relationship intending for said like for romantic relationships and all that jazz. That is such a waste of time. That is so
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I see what you mean because it's really hard. And I wouldn't say nowadays, always have been hard to like match, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about being friends first is important, because with friends you can connect and you see, you know, the things you have in common, the things you don't have in common. But like, I mean, again, I only have one example, which is my ex. And
look, it's a pretty good example.
It's a pretty good example. And like, we really did not like the same things. We were the opposites. And then people, like, I will never believe when people say, "Oh, the opposites attract," because
I
that's
was about
not
to
what it
ask
means.
you that. I was like, how many people told you that? How many people said to you, "Oh, but opposites attract"?
Oh, dozens of people. And
Oh,
I
my
understand
goodness.
what they're saying, because the opposites attract, because, you know, when you don't know something, you know, if you like different things, which basically means that that person knows about things that you don't know about. And that creates conversation. That makes sense. But not liking the same things does not work in a relationship. I wouldn't say it doesn't work in a relationship, because every relationship is different.
Yeah.
But it has to be common ground. If you don't like the same things, there has to be common ground. My case was not only the exact opposite of it. Everything that I like, she despises. She's, you know, video games, despises.
What?
Yeah, she hates video games. Even though, like, she was addicted to The Sims for a while. But, like, she hates video games. She, like, you know, one of the last straws for me, and this was gonna sound kind of silly, but like, when I started getting into VTubers, I didn't told her because I know she would have words for it, and I did not want to listen.
Yeah.
So one day, she went to my house and I was watching. Who was it? It was someone from VShoujo. I don't know if it was Iramouse on back in the day when Veibe was in VShoujo, and she looked at my screen and she went like, ugh.
Oh,
And I was like,
goodness.
and I swear to God, I was like, and I'm not even joking, I did say that. It was the first time I was kind of confrontive to her. I was like, how fucking dare you?
Why
Fucking
would you
dare
nitpick something that I like? What is
Yeah,
your deal?
literally, like, but like, oh, she looks, it's kind of weird. Like, what is weird? She's like a demon girl. What's weird? Oh, I was so pissed. I think
Valid.
that was like the drop in the bucket. I think for me, that's when like everything began. When I began questioning myself. Like, there's no way you just arrived and you just say that. And I was super happy because I was watching her play, like, I think it was Binding of Isaac or something. Like, I was just having fun. And yeah, Rod brings up a good point. If you feel like you have to discredit people having fun, that's a big problem. That's
a huge problem.
Completely a big problem. What's your opinion on parties, Corn? You mean like parties or like a group of adventurers? What type of parties you mean?
Because I've got two opinions to give you.
I mean, like both, honestly. Like, parties are like, the thing is, I'm someone that has a lot of fun by myself and by my friends. So going to a party, even if it is IRL friends, I like social interactions, but like, I don't last long on them because I just want to go home and like play games or watch something.
You lose like social battery really quickly.
Yes, but
fair
not
enough.
online,
Yeah.
though. Like, not online. It's more like real life situations. I'm really glad you got out of that narration, but you deserve much better. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate it. Thank you for advising me.
You did deserve better. You do deserve better.
I do. Thank you, guys.
Now you've learned your lesson, which is a good thing, because it means that if something else comes by next time, you'll be aware.
Absolutely.
Just a piece of advice to everybody. Just take it fucking slow.
Just take it slow.
It doesn't need to be fast.
Just take it slow. And also an advice from me, like, when you get out of a relationship, and that's kind of another story, but like, sometimes you meet someone that, for me, for example, because anything was better than my ex, for example. And
for real.
It's really easy to try to like latch on and cling to that person because, oh my god, they're perfect. And I mean, like, I had kind of well, it wasn't a relationship per se, but like, I did met someone and I was really happy. And like, we only talked like for a couple of months, and it didn't last, and it, it broke my heart a little bit because I'm so happy because we like the same thing. Yeah, it actually broke my heart more than like my ex, because like, I was like, bro, but I actually like you.
No, honestly, you're so real for that. I like
bruh,
getting
Cornelius
attached
Lord. Yes.
sucks, man.
And that's the problem. I get attached very easily. I think mostly because of the trauma. But like, I get attached when somebody shows me affection. I'm like, bro,
please give me more.
Give me more.
Please give me more.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
for real.
It's sad out there, boys. I'm sorry. It's sad out there.
No, it's just, honestly, there is a difference between desperation and simply just wanting to feel loved, especially in the case of you've been through pain before and it sucked before, and you want something to be reciprocated for once, of where it doesn't feel like there are restrictions, where it's conditional. Because that's exactly what you came from, was this conditional sense or idea, quote unquote, of what love was, when really it wasn't love at all. And it's not your fault for feeling that way.
No, you're absolutely right.
That being in mind, once again, I feel you and your pain, because holy crap, getting attached to someone and then all of that crumbling down, especially in like a few months, it's like, wow. I feel really sad now.
I don't blame the person, because like I said, we're just talking. It wasn't anything concrete. So absolutely, I was jumping head in, and it kind of my fault, because it wasn't at that point. I was like fully committed to something that I shouldn't be, because we're just literally meeting each other, right? So
Yeah.
I don't hold anything against the person. It's just like my feelings were just very very intense. But it happened.
No, that's fair. It does
Conditional
happen.
love is no love at all. Exactly. Never settle for conditional love, guys. You search for actual love.
Literally.
Hearing about
Love
the
should always be
attachment-
unconditional.
It's okay, Goob. Like you guys know me. I'm happy now. I'm fine now. It's just experiences that we've been through, but I'm good now. Don't have to worry about me. I'm doing good.
Yeah. The tragedy is that we had to make it through these experiences to learn better, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. But it makes
that's
it makes
just-
us better people.
it is what it is.
That's the problem, Pi. It is common sense. But the thing is, when you get into that situation, you're not thinking. You're fully 100% emotional, and you don't see logic in it. And that's the problem. That's
See,
what happened to me.
This is a thing that I like that we both touch on a lot of the time when we have these talks, because it's a case that I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge. When you are in, you don't know better because you are looking at everything through rose-colored glasses. Everything looks so pretty and attractive to you that you think that it's, whatever it may look like on the outside to everyone else, you being on the inside is seeing an entirely different perspective. You don't get to know how bad something is, or even in a positive situation as well. You don't get to know how good something is either until you've stepped away and you've seen the full picture.
Absolutely, yes. And it is pretty much that what you said, like the rose tinted glasses, because people say I'm smart. Like I like to think I'm logical, and I think about stuff. And when I gave advice to people, even back then when I was in the relationship, I gave relatively good advice. But when it comes to you, when you were in that situation, you literally doesn't think logically. It is completely emotion. And
Exactly.
if you don't know better, you've like I said, that's why I called it. I fell into the trap, because it becomes a trap. Because then you start trying to justify them. You yourself try to justify them and their feelings for you, to try to make it work, and that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. It's a case of you begin to realize, you start making excuses, but then there's a point in all of that of where you have to ask yourself, where do you draw the line? And sometimes that's blurred too. You don't even know. Sometimes you're stuck so bad that you don't even know what to do anymore. I remember being that way in my relationship, being at like a stalemate for so long, not knowing what to do because I was so attached. And letting go is hard. Letting go and getting over things, as much as it seems like a simple action, the feelings and the experiences and the moments that were shared, you don't get over that in a day. You don't get over that in even a week or a month. You're still thinking about those kinds of things because it sends your mind on a spiral of what could have been, or maybe what should have been if you had done XYZ instead. That's just how it is. That's just the
True.
way it is. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's
really
not
hard.
an easy situation.
I know, absolutely right. It's complicated. Oh, I'm sorry, Goom. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry,
Don't
Goomy.
cry. And yeah, KJ, that's that's the true. Like, being honest is the best thing about it. Because one thing that, oh man, I don't know if I should keep talking about. I don't want to bring the mood down, but there are a lot of situations where I basically started lying for nothing because I was afraid of her reaction or afraid of what she would do. Once, I remember this very vividly. My college, in my college, because of the stuff that I do, which is food, where I graduated, food engineering. It is very popular amongst mostly women. So in my college, it's like a 70 to 30% ratio of women to men. So there's a lot more women. So most of the friends I made during college were women, right? And back then, like, I never went into a college party. I never went out with them, even, you know, as friends, because I really was afraid of what my girlfriend would react to, and my ex. And then one day, like, I was just talking, and I committed the crime of sending an emoji to, I think it was a heart emoji, because we were just talking to, like, one of these friends of mine.
Yeah.
And, like, it was literally innocuous. It was nothing. It doesn't meant anything. We're just talking like people talk on the internet with emojis. Oh my god. You have no idea the stress I went to. Because my girlfriend said I was being disrespectful, that she couldn't trust me anymore, that she thought I was cheating on. Oh my god. It was a whole ass scene. And like, from that day forward, I was afraid of doing anything. And if I did anything, even innocuous, like, let's just say, like, oh, after lunch, I went to grab, like, I don't know, an ice cream with another person. Even if it wasn't a girl, if it just was like me and a guy friend, we just went to have ice cream after a class, for example, I wouldn't tell her. And if she asked, I would lie because I was afraid of her reaction. And that is such a bad way to live. I felt so guilty because I was lying. But I felt myself, like, forced to, because I didn't want to go through all this situation anymore. It was terrible, guys. It was terrible. I'm so glad I'm out.
Most women are difficult, and almost every man is an idiot in some way. I should know I'm an idiot. Women, this is the general truth about all of it, is the fact that women can't understand men and men can't understand women because we live two separate lives. We do not share the same experiences. Like, for example, Korn has his experiences, and his are his own tragedies. I have my own experiences, and they're my own tragedies. They could never be replicated on the same scale, simply because, unfortunately, gender is the thing that separates the both of us, as well as, you know, situation and cases and all that jazz. It's a really strange kind of scenario that we go through from day to day. If Korn was in my kind of situation, I don't think what happened to me in the end, of where, like, I had the support around me, would be the same for him, which is really upsetting to think about, because other people would think that, oh, well, he's just, you know, he's just a dude, what the fuck, why can't he? Yeah, it is what it is. Like, that's literally what would happen. That's the sad truth, is that if he went through what I went through and was open about it with people, maybe certain people would believe him and would support him. There are probably a very big handful of people, because he's a man, of where people would say, like, oh, then why the fuck didn't you do anything about it? You're a man in that situation. And that's really depressing to think about.
It is. It's pretty
but
sad.
Either way, both of our situations are very valid. What he went through, his pain and his sufferings, are very valid, just as much as mine are also very valid as well. Same situation for everybody else, and the pains and sufferings that they went through, also valid situations too. No one deserves to put up with things like that. Absolutely. It is not fair to have to, you know, to feel fear because of someone else and how they will think of you. That is... that's heinous. I hate that so much.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. No, absolutely, Chad.
Once again, very happy that you're out of that situation, because, man, that is
Me
fucked.
too. No, like, like I said, like, I'm just reminiscing, because, like, I messaged this on Twitter. People were doing, like, the dating story trend, and I started doing it. And then when you start listing things, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, oh damn,
this is
okay.
bad. And, like, I was like, Bro, that's why I remembered all these things. But like, there's a lot of stories. I could go like hours telling stories, but I don't want to put you guys through that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. If you're an idiot, KJ, then I'm an imbecile.
Imbecile. Nah,
No,
you're
you're
fine,
not.
dude. You're not. You're just a tsundere. It's okay.
You're just.
You're just a tsundere. Okay? And I'm joking. You're fine, Gim. You're fine.
Once again, I think to reimburse some positivity into this talk. Once again, the pains that we've all been through, very valid. They are your own experiences and they should never be invalidated. You deserve the world. You deserve everything that you want on a silver platter.
Everyone does.
Any pain that you've gone through, any bad situation that you've ever had to experience, you should have never had to have gone through that. The fact you did is very sad, but at the end of the day, remember that you are here and that you deserve all the love in the world, and that you are deserving of so much. That is my affirmation to everyone. That is not just a kick out of everything. That is a very serious affirmation. You do deserve the world. You deserve so much love. Even if you feel that someone else couldn't give it to you, you still deserve it regardless.
Exactly. No, I second that. I second that for sure.
Huge emphasis on you too, Con. Especially because yours was very recent.
Thank you.
You deserve love and the world on a silver platter.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the sentiment. I wish the same to you. I appreciate it.
We'll live. We'll survive.
We will.
It's rough out here.
No,
we'll make it to another sunset.
Absolutely. Like, I think I'm way more me being positive now is also because I am happy that I went over it. Like, that I got out of it. I realized the problem and did something with it. That's why I'm very positive today, because I know we can do anything. And I mean that. Like, we have the power to do anything. And that's like, that's the positivity I want to give to the world all the time. Because I know one person being positive can change somebody else's day.
Oh, for sure. 100% agree with that.
Exactly.
Ended due to me, sadly, but I take it to heart and move forward. No, especially though, Gumi, with what Rod said, it is a process. Mistakes are meant to be made. So long as you learn from said mistakes, it's okay. You're not meant to. This is a concept, I think, in the human anatomy that is so wild to me, even to this day. This strive for perfection and wanting to be perfect beings, but then being unable to, come to terms with the fact that we just simply cannot be that way is so wild to me. Because it's, once again, it's us as human beings constantly 100% of the time striving to be something that we are just not meant to be. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Learn from it, better yourself from it, and then, try and move forward from it. Yeah, those things are going to haunt you, but you should never let them define you.
Absolutely.
Who you are in future. That's not fair on you. That's not fair on you. That's not fair on your future self. That's not fair at all, period. It causes so much damage to you and yourself internally, mentally as well. Just be kinder to yourself.
Just be kinder.
As much as you... Like, I think we focus a lot on being kind to others, but that also should be, reimbursed tenfold into ourselves as well. You should be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. Exactly.
I don't want to be negative today, so I'm gonna sip on some coffee.
Base.
For real.
For real. You wanna
As
do
you should.
You wanna do another D&D horror stories for us to weigh in our opinions?
Honestly, I like that we went on that tangent. It's a very good tangent.
It was a pretty good tangent. It was a pretty good tangent. This is what the Snack Time podcast is about, guys.
Yeah, about tangents, going off course, and then coming right back on.
Exactly.
As we do.
As we do.
Let's see. Hold on, let me close my eyes and scroll through. Oh no, that's not simple work. Let's not touch
That's
that.
not good. That's not a
Let's
good.
not touch that.
That's not a good
We're not
choice.
touching that. Oh.
I don't know how
Oh.
to deal with one of my players. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, this is a short one too. You want to read this one?
I can read this one. So, I'm 2 sessions in my first campaign as a DM, and one of my players have been a no-show for the 2 sessions, and I don't know how much longer I can stall the story, nor if I really want to. My other players have all leveled up, and the no-show hasn't. Oh my god. Punctuation. Like, I'm not playing the character, and most of my players are new to D&D, so I didn't burden them with playing the no-show character, but now her character's behind. Also, she doesn't answer me. I've texted her to know if she really wanted to play the campaign, if she was... Oh, this is not English speaker. Available this week for the 3rd session with no answer. I need advice on how to deal with that, like, if she... Once to play, do I make her solo quest to catch up, or I let her struggle? Also, I should keep stalling the story or go ahead with it. Edit. Thanks for all the advice. I've sent her one last message, give her till tomorrow to answer me, and explained to her that if she doesn't want to answer me, I'm getting rid of her character because I'm tired of her wasting me and other players' like based actually. I've also already planned how I'm getting rid of her character that makes sense in context of the campaign. Another edit. Finally answer me to tell me she doesn't want to play because I put a deadline. I want to know who's going to be there at least 2 days before the campaign, so she wasted my time. Oh my god, I feel sorry for this game. Ugh. Okay, I don't blame them because they clearly not an English speaker. The word disposable makes me think they're probably from South America because you have the word disponível, which means available. So
yeah, I was about to say, you literally said you're like, oh, this person's not an English speaker, and I was like, neither are you, Colin. What do you mean?
Yeah, because of the word they used. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry for not being a master in English. But I think he did the best thing because we have a problem with no shows. I mean, I never had one personally. I mean, unless like an emergency, like, oh, I couldn't because, something happened, that's okay. But when somebody ghosts you and Cake... No, actually,
Damn.
Cake actually when he can't come to the campaign, Cake actually messaged me privately, Rod. But like, if somebody avoids talking to you and it's just campaign time, everybody knows it's campaign time, and like he said later, she didn't want to come because he puts a deadline on it, like he lets people know, hey, let me know 2 days prior if you guys are coming. I mean, that's just... I would just have dropped this player. Like, I wouldn't even be worried. Like, myself. Let's just say the situation happens to me. Like, a person just stops showing. I just keep on playing. I don't, like... I wouldn't be worried about their characters. Their character just not doing anything. Because the player is not here. Like... I don't see like a complex... How this is complex. At least for me. What do you think, my friend?
I mean... I can kind of understand why it's complex because it's a case of, like, perhaps they, have a close relationship with this player, and it would be a case of, like, if I kick you out, it'll put a strain on our friendship. I understand it from that kind of perspective. Though I do understand what you're saying, it's literally just the case of just kick him out. They're holding up the rest of us, and it's not fair to everyone else that we have to wait for this one person to, come through when they haven't for the last 2 sessions. That's not fair. So,
like I wouldn't even myself. I wouldn't even kick him out. I would just keep the game with the players that show up. I wouldn't even address it. The players ask, "Oh, where's that person?" It's like, I don't know, but like, we
Yeah, I don't
can
know.
continue. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I continue.
Yeah.
Because maybe somebody's going through a difficult time, and sometimes people just don't want to talk about it. I understand that. So I would
Yeah.
just keep playing, and maybe like down the line, a month later, it's like, hey, I came back? Can I play? Like, yeah, of course you can. I wouldn't address. What I'm trying to say is like I wouldn't address it as a problem. I would just like leave them in the background
Yeah.
and leave the options open.
I do think it's really funny though that this player literally said doesn't want to play because I put on a deadline.
No, that's crazy. That's insane. That's actually insane.
That's your reason?
Yeah, no, that's insane. Like, what do you mean deadline?
Yeah. Like, it's courtesy, isn't it just, nice to let people know things ahead of time? It'd be appreciated. Oh my god.
It would be appreciated. This is just crazy. And again, guys, show love to your DMs, because to make a session, we need to prepare it. Like, we spend time like game. So
we go through so much just to make a game.
Yeah,
one,
enjoyable.
work out, and number two, and yeah, like you said, enjoyable. Bruh. Appreciate your DMs. I mean, unless your DM is a dick, then you're fuck them. But
yeah. We're talking about good DMs.
Yeah, but for the
DMs,
good DMs out there who strive to, make a campaign and like a session really fun for all the players, including themselves as the DM, show some love to them, because they're out here trying their hardest.
Yes.
They're working their asses off for this. It's really hard to come up with a session, especially with what is it, like continuing from previous sessions, because you have to elaborate on everything that happened like the previous week. I'm very forgetful, so
Yep. If I don't know, down is over.
Yeah, it's like if I don't recall what the heck we did the last session, any detail a player is like, oh, we did this, and this. It's like, oh crap, we did do that. I have to like be in shambles to put it all back together.
I have a cheat, which is my friend Luna. Luna has really good memory. So every time we're about to start a session, I thought, hey Luna, remind the party what happened. But actually, I'm basically telling him, tell me what happened again, because I forgot.
Yeah, update me, please. I need help. I have no idea where we left off.
And it was like, oh yeah, we're stopped here. Yeah. No,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
thank you for the recap.
Yeah, literally. We love Luna because of that. As a new DM, I try my best to open my players. That's actually pretty good, KJ. Being open-minded for like, I think there's 3 things that comes to be a DM. At least a DM that I enjoy playing with as a player. 1, letting players be on the spotlight. 2, even if you're going to say no, at least try to engage with the suggestions or the ideas the players have. Because one thing is saying, you can't do that because, this spell doesn't work like that. It's different than just saying no. There's a difference. If you explain to the player why that can't happen, it's way better than just saying no flat out. And
my favorite go-to line is, you can certainly try.
You can certainly try. I do that all the time as well. And the third thing is, but also with those 2 first things in mind, also don't be afraid of letting the players suffer the consequences of their actions.
Yes.
And that's really important. Because it is a sandbox. I mean, at least most DMs run games as a sandbox. So the players might do things or go to places where they're not meant to be, or they are only supposed to be later on. And that can cause consequences. Don't be afraid of, if the players instigate the king of the kingdom, there will be consequences. They can't just walk around insulting the king and expect and be mad if something happens to them.
Exactly. Every
Yeah.
action has its equal opposite reaction.
Yes.
So
Yes. I am the type of DM that most combats, most of them, because sometimes you can't avoid it. Most combats can be solved between the combat even start. The combat can be avoided. They can just leave. There's a way, maybe there's a gimmick to the monster that doesn't result in combat. But if the combat happens, the combat happens, even if the monsters are way stronger than the player. Yeah, if it happens, it happens.
you know another thing that I feel like is really underappreciated when it comes to enemies in the sense of conflict. The idea of conflict is that a lot of people assume that it always has to be like a fist fight. It always has to, put them up and duke it out. Remember, conflict can also happen through arguments.
Yes.
There are different forms of conflicts.
People can be convinced. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't hold that against the players. I mean, in general, the people that play D&D, because D&D is heavily mechanic for combat. Even though it is a role-playing game, I would say the ratio for like mechanics for roleplay to mechanics to combat is like a 10 to 90. Like D&D, unfortunately, is very, very pivoted to combat, and I can see why people get into that mindset, because they think that because everything that give you something for combat, so you assume I'm gonna have to be in combat. But then it comes down, to the DM to show them that there are other ways. Right? And like I said, Rod, most fights can be avoided. You will not be able to talk down the final boss of the campaign. I'm sorry. You cannot Steven Universe SRX. I'm sorry.
No, you cannot do this, and that.
You cannot talk him down. He will not be listening. Railroad. Yeah, sure. Railroad. Yeah. God damn it.
Let me Steven Universe the Apocalypse bring a con.
Nope. You cannot. It's like that one scene. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Unless you have a musical number, I'd allow it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you sing, maybe. It's like
if
that.
you have a musical number to share.
I love that one meme. That is just like, I don't know which character. I think it's Garnet, like, with her hands on Steven's shoulder. And saying like, Steven, I think we'll have to kill this one. And then Steven's like, man, and it's literally Hitler the other side.
I love how that trended a while ago. Oh
so
my goodness.
Funny. I think we have to.
I wish people jumped on it more. Oh my goodness. I wish more people out in the VTubing community jumped on it more. Oh,
it was pretty
man.
good. It was a pretty good meme.
That was so good. That was so funny. Oh.
Just gonna convince. True, Rad. True. If you guys actually do like a Disney movie type of a musical score for a Cerelec, I might be convinced.
Yeah, no, honestly, me too. I realize, you know what? I just might be down. I just might allow you to do it.
That's so good.
That is so very good. Oh my goodness. Ah, my model fixed itself. Yay!
Yay!
It was
Fugi.
like broken for
Fugi
2
is also
seconds.
working
What the
now.
hell?
I'm happy.
Yay!
Yippee! Yippee!
But yeah, going back to that trend of that, I think we might have to kill this dude. Oh man!
I love that trend so much.
I
It's
was
so
very
funny.
proud of my one, to be honest. I was like super duper proud of it. It was so funny to me. Because it was like my Mackie mascot just right next to me. I think we might have to kill this person, Mackie Wacky. Oh, thank
It's so
goodness,
good.
finally.
It's so good. It's honestly so good.
Ooh. Thank God. Finally. What the fuck?
Yeah, that meme. That meme was pretty good. Oh, my model disappeared. There you go.
But we reached. Wow, I'm speaking. Ooh, now we reached now.
We witch. we witch.
We
witch.
reached now. What is it? The 2-hour and almost 50-minute mark. You said that you wanted to wrap this up early, didn't you?
Yes, because I have a lot to do today. I mean, we have 10 minutes for your closing statements if you have any.
You know my closing statements do not go for 10 minutes.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Bazoop. Look, I had to make the Sims reference.
That's fair. Bro, I need to play this thing again.
I'm giving up on it, man. I'm so sick and tired of it. It keeps breaking on me. Ugh.
Oh yeah, the good old The Sims straight that you can't even run from time to time.
Sims 4 too, bro. All these
4
expansion packs and for what? Ugh.
Let me check. I'm pretty sure,
Annoying.
like, if I wanted to legally buy all the expansions for The Sims 4, I think it would cost me like 3,000 reais.
Surely it would cost you more. They're expanding it so much, but half the expansions are not even worth having.
They give you nothing. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen people complain about it. They give you nothing, and they're charging like full price.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Bro,
Ugh.
EA is such a joke, bro. Oh my god.
It is. It literally is. We've been over this. We've
been over this.
Bruh. There
But
is
yeah.
so much you could do to improve, and you just choose not to.
They just choose not to, which is more frustrating than just like being bad at it. It's intentional.
Yeah, it's edging.
It's
And that's fun. That's what it is.
That's a good. It's edging. That's a good. I like that. I'm gonna use that in the future. They're just edging us.
Yeah, it's edging.
That's actually hilarious.
Oh my goodness. You know what we need to do, right? So when we finally have an anime night, when we watch Bungo Stray Dogs, after we watch Bungo Stray Dogs, we need to watch what's his name? His name's like Danny. He does like reactions to a lot of shows. He finished reacting to Bungo Stray Dogs, so he's completely up to date. It's so funny.
Oh yeah,
the comments that he makes about the show. It's like that's wild.
Oh hell yeah, we got to do that then.
I didn't.
Oh,
want EA to edge me.
it's not even a good edge, bro. It's not even a good one. Speaking of anime, Overlord movie was announced to November 20th, November 5th. Oh, sometime November. Was supposed to come out like 2 days ago, but then they delayed like to November.
Bruh, they might delay it a little bit longer.
No, don't
if
say
this
that.
is the case.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
This is just the beginning,
say that.
Claude. I'm sorry.
Don't say that. Don't, please. Don't. I love that series. I really need more.
Look,
I just need more.
We had to all suffer with never ever seeing Ice Adolescence for Yuri on Ice ever.
Oof.
So
Yeah, that's just a skill
bear it
issue.
in mind. Yeah. A skill issue.
I'm sorry. I'm joking.
No, it's just
My
Mappa
anime-
being stupid. It's Mappa being stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know, my anime are alive and breathing, you know? Frieren, Mushoku Tensei, Overlord, new season of Re:Zero dropping soon. My anime are thriving. I don't know what you're talking about.
At least yours are thriving. Mine are coming to a close, man. I'm so sad. I'm still out here waiting. How long? How many years has it been now since it's been out? Like 15 years since Oron came out, or 20 years since Oron came out. I'm still waiting for a reboot. If Fruits Basket could get a reboot, so can Oron High School Host Club. The only downside is that people would not be able to take it. They would never be able to take the reboot.
That's a good point. People, yeah, that's another thing about it, right? Even if somebody wants to try it again, people have a really hard time adapting to like new things. So like reboots of anime, I can see those being a problem.
No, you say that right. You know what a really
Uh-huh.
good example of it is literally Fruits Basket. There were so many fans of the original anime that
Yeah.
disliked the reboot because they were like, but I preferred it when they would like this in the original. The original took creative liberties, guys. There's a reason why the reboot exists and why it completely follows the manga itself. It's just better that way.
True.
Ugh.
True.
It's not my fault you didn't read the manga. That's your fault. That's a skill issue.
That's a skill issue. I need to
That's not
start.
my problem. That's your problem.
True. There's
Okay, I'm not
one.
gonna- Discontinued and unfinished anime is what fanfic is for.
True.
You're so right, Roddy.
True.
You are so right.
You know,
Time to get some good content from AO3.
AO3 is right around the corner.
Hey!
I guarantee you there's at least like 100 entries of any anime in there.
No. Oh my goodness. Wait, didn't we read over the shippings, the top 100 shippings of AO3?
Oh, I would love to do. We should do that sometime.
Some of them on there are really unhinged.
Really crazy.
Yeah, like, bruh, why would you ship these two together? Nah. Like, I'm all down for a crack ship. This isn't even crack. This is genuinely, like, morally concerning. Why would you do this?
Why would you do that? Exactly. Oh, think about ships. I just got remember. The new Penguin series came out. TV
Oh
show.
my god. Okay, I did see the ads for it, and I was like, who is this woman? I would like to know who she is, because I hope she's a baddie.
She's a baddie. She's a baddie. I highly recommend. I think they only have like 2 or 3 episodes out. I watched the 2 first episodes yesterday. It's so good. It's so good. It's
Speaking
fantastically good.
of TV shows, right? So
Mhm.
recently they announced who was going to be playing Sophie for season 4 of Bridgerton, because Sophie is supposed to be Benedict's love interest the whole Masquerade season. I have mixed feelings, not about the actress or anything at all. I have mixed feelings about the season itself. I think it's going to be really good, obviously, with the actors, because all the actors are really, like, you know, well sought after and you just great at their work anyways. My issue is Netflix and them just fucking up the Bridgerton series as a whole and, you know, causing a Riverdale situation with Bridgerton.
I was about to ask, do you think it's gonna be as crazy as Riverdale?
Look, if they decide randomly to put powers into Bridgerton, I will actually flip a table. I will. Oh,
Man, that was a
What
wild.
happened?
That was a wild twist. I think do they change the directors or something? Because that was such like a curveball.
I think so. They might have. I'm not even sure. All I know is that everybody was okay with season 1. I didn't like Riverdale at all. I thought it was really cringy, especially with the stupid line that what's his face Archie makes about about high school American football.
Oh, I remember that.
Bruh.
I haven't watched this. I never watched Riverdale, but I watched like a guy do a dive on it. And it's very clear that, at least in the first season, it did not seem that they were going to that direction at all. You
Yeah,
can
it
clearly
wasn't.
see a pivot, like just something completely different. That was what was intended.
Like, what happened? Where did it go wrong? What did you do?
I did Riverdale. Did the second season come after The Boys started airing?
I think so.
Because
I'm
probably
pretty sure it did.
Probably they saw like the success that The Boys were doing. It was like, you know what, we want a piece of that pie, maybe.
Maybe. I think it was kind of strange when they were putting in those musical episodes. Like for example, the Heathers musical episode that they did. That
Uh-huh.
was wild to
That was
me.
crazy. That was I don't know. I don't
I
know what
was
they
like,
wanted.
it kind of works, but also doesn't, and I don't know how to feel about this. I'm iffy. I'm a little bit on the fence about this. I like the fact that you're using one of my one of my favorite musicals, but I'm really skeptical because you're kind of ruining it for me. you're
Yeah.
kind of screwing it up for me.
It felt like kind of all over the place.
It was so all over the place. It was just wild, absolutely wild. Doesn't make any sense at all, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. It was crazy. Which also made. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go, you go.
I was gonna talk about another series that seemed to have pivoted a little bit, which is The Boys itself. Like, I haven't watched the last season. I'm sorry. Oh, I choked on myself. But like,
Wait, that shark.
yeah, for some reason. Should be just it is, but it is. Yeah, Rod, exactly. But like, I heard people talking about the last season of The Boys. I only watched like the previous ones, and apparently they also did wasn't a pivot, but like there's a because like The Boys, they do this thing where like there's different quote unquote situations and possibilities on the comics. Apparently they're going for a very specific one that people are not so happy about.
Oh
boy. Have you watched The Boys? Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it. I've seen clips of it though.
It's a very meme heavy show. That is fair.
It is the what was it? I knew there was a lot of edits, particularly in the animation community on TikTok, about like villains, and there's the one scene that Homelander is having. What is it? You're just bad product is what it is?
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like, that's really intense. And a lot of the animation community was using it, and I was like, this is iconic. This is so good. I love this.
No, Homelander has some kick-ass scenes. Any make like watching the show in the context of the show is even better. So like it's a show with a lot of adult themes. I like to say it's kinda like R-rated as Deadpool is, but like serious. Deadpool is like R-rated funny. The Boys is R-rated serious. So it has a lot of adult themes. But it is pretty entertaining. I really enjoy it. They do a lot of things pretty well, but I haven't watched the latest season, and apparently they did a little bit bad with it. I gotta see it for myself.
I need to watch it to come up with a diagnosis.
A conclusion, yes. Because every time I start watching a series, I have two fears. Either they end up like the Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead. And I don't want to experience that again. Either case, I don't want to experience that again.
It's just why, like Game of Thrones, I understood they lost material by the end because it was like, well, there is no last book written to come to a full conclusion, so we're just gonna have to make it up as we go.
Yeah.
So in that case, I understand, but just why?
Yeah.
What writers are you getting on to produce this stuff? Oh my goodness.
Exactly. I have, Rod. It's called Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Thank you very much. But yes, it. I mean, what I felt like, I do feel like, for the bottom of my heart, I feel like the last season of Game of Thrones were just George R. Martin just trolling everyone. Like literally, like, you know what? I haven't wrote anything, so you guys just take this and let me fucking do my thing, I guess.
Bruh.
From the bottom of my heart, I do feel up to this day he was just trolling. I'm not even joking. Those are mid. Okay, Rod. Rod, you don't even watch TV shows. What you're talking about?
You know another really good TV show we need to watch? It's a sitcom. It's an old sitcom, but it's like one of my favorite sitcoms. What is it? Golden Girls. Very good show. Absolutely love the Golden Girls.
I always heard good things about Golden Girls.
The way that the series goes as well, and the way it finishes in the last season too, I think it's really like the perfect way of how a TV series should just be summed up. Because man, it's so good. It's just a bunch of old ladies going through like their personal lives who are all conveniently roommates with one another. And it's so good. Because there's Dorothy, who's the sassy one. There's Rose, who's a bit of a ditz, but you know, she's funny all the same. She's like a farm girl.
Yeah.
There is Blanche, who is like the southern flower, I guess you could call her. She gets around, and a lot of men want her, which makes her just all the funnier. Because she like really likes to flaunt it, and then Dorothy comes in and like, you know, sasses her and shuts her down really quickly. And then there's Sophia, who is Dorothy's mother, who once again, an Italian old woman who's also just as sassy as her own daughter. It's just such a good show.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Your friend, yes, literally.
That sounds good.
Literally, Rod.
No, fair enough. That sounds pretty good. Two shows that I hear a lot of good about is Golden Girls and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I need to start watching that one too. I never have.
I haven't seen that one actually.
That's
I
one
might watch it.
with Danny DeVito. I'm the trash man. Have you seen that meme? I throw trash.
Oh yes.
It's from that show. It's called Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think.
I need to also start watching Community.
Community? Never heard of that one.
Yeah. So it's basically it feels more like Office in a way, where it's set in a community college. It's just a bunch of people who are attending community college, and they have these really weird interactions with each other. The most famous line I can think of from that show is, what is it? Donald Glover, who is in the show, he plays Troy.
Oh,
and
is that the show from the pizza meme? That he arrives the pizza and everything's on fire?
Yeah, everything's on fire. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. That's fun. That's fun.
There's a scene in one of the episodes of where, what is it? I think Troy sneezes, and one of them says like, "Ha! Troy sneezes like a girl," and he's like, "And how about I pound you like a boy?" That didn't come out right.
That's really good. That's really good.
I was like, damn, that's actually so funny. What the heck? Oh.
True. Oh, that's true, Rod. That's Goose. Goose told me that's a good show. That's where I heard from Goose. Community, I never watched that. We should do a sitcom watch party as well.
Yes, we should. There's so many watch parties that we need to do.
We do.
There's movie nights we need to do, anime nights we need to do. Oh my goodness. Just watching shows in general. I want to watch more shows.
No, absolutely. But unfortunately, chat, your favorite wizard has a lot to do today. So unfortunately.
What a way to wrap it up. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry.
Your favorite wizard.
Yeah. You know, he has a lot of pondering the orb to do. So, we have to cut this episode a little bit short. I'm sorry again, Macaron, for that.
Do not apologize. It is A-okay.
Yeah, it's a thank you. But we had fun. I think it was a very productive episode, actually.
It was very productive.
We covered a lot of topics. Welcome back, Goom. We're just wrapping it up. But again, as always, I appreciate chat for being here. I appreciate my beloved co-host Macaron for being here. And Thank you all for this episode of Snack Time Podcast.
Good thing we're wrapping it up too, because my camera like killed itself, so like my model is not moving at all.
It's frozen.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Well, it worked out.
I like tried to plug it back in, and my computer was like, "You have to restart." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, what do you mean I have to restart? You were perfectly fine before."
Oh, your mother was sleepy.
Yeah, I'm
Look at her.
I'm sleepy.
Again, another proof of our symphony. You know, another proof that we think alike.
It's just you're asleep. Honk shoe, honk shoe.
Hunk shoe.
Sleeping
Oh yeah, and also
noises.
you know, you get your rest too.
Yes, I do. I've got to wake up in 5 hours to make my sister's. Actually, no, I have to go to the flower market first and get the flowers for the bouquet for my sister's wedding today.
No, absolutely. In that case, then,
Yeah.
you could do that. You go rest, and I go work, unfortunately. But thank you, everybody who came. I really appreciate you all.
Yes, we appreciate all of you for joining us for episode 4 of Snack Time. We're gonna need to get a guest on here soon, honestly.
We do. That's what I'm gonna say for episode 5. You know, because it's milestone. We could have a guest around. I don't know who though. We have to ask.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who. We'll probably have the boys on here.
We could have the boys on here.
The only trouble is we'd have to change the schedule for streaming because Gumi works at this hour.
True. I mean,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I have ideas for people as well, but we'll talk about it later.
Don't ask me, I'd be a terrible guest. I beg to differ, but
That
okay.
is not true.
Whatever.
That is not true, guys.
Oh, hi, Sin! Sorry, we're just wrapping it up now.
Sin, no.
Oh, hello, my beloved. I'm sorry. We're wrapping it up now. My model's not moving. Everything is breaking, and I
Everything's
gotta go
dying.
get flowers in the next 4 hours. So I missed my Empress. It's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I missed my
I could just not work that day and let me know in advance. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll yap
talk
about it. We've got 2 weeks to think about it. So
Yeah, don't worry about it. How about rating? Pie is alive. Do you want to rate Pie?
Yes, let's go read pie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, hold on.
2
2 seconds. Is there anyone else, perhaps maybe smaller, just in
Oh,
case?
that's a good point.
Um.
You know, Pie is too important for us now. Now she's on the big leagues.
She's in the big league.
She's in the big leagues.
She's too good for us now.
Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said that.
They're gonna go and be like, Corn said.
Corn said. Also, you're streaming your window, by the way.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Bye.
Get out of here. There you go.
Oh, that's fine. It's nothing too special, honestly, if I'm completely honest.
You're fine.
I too wish for the big league. It's time to go to Fortnite. I'm a snitch. Of course you are. Of course you are.
Of course, you're the one. Of course, you're snitching.
Not even surprised. Let's see. Who have I got? Ooh. There's either Value or Value who's streaming. There's
Oh,
Pai.
Value is streaming.
Yeah. There's Rosina. What is Rosina doing? She is. Oh, she's playing a horror for October.
Ooh.
Interesting. Hang on, are they collaborating?
Who?
It just occurred to me because I was like, hold on. Pai is doing Roblox, and Rosina is also doing Roblox.
Oh, are they playing
Collaborating.
together? Are they playing together? Okay, so if they're playing together, I can raid Pi, you can raid her.
Okay, I'll go raid Rosina and you raid Pi.
Okay, that works.
Snitch on Corn, guys.
Do not snitch on me. I will
on
deny.
Corn.
I'll just lie.
Snitch on Corn.
I'll just lie. Nobody can prove anything.
Oh, you're in trouble.
God damn it.
Snitch
Right.
now.
I'll never. Take your KJ. See, KJ's a real run. I'll send
KJ
you guys.
is married to you, though. It's just a given.
Yeah. Yeah, as he should. I'm gonna pin the raid message, guys.
Oh yes, I shall pin it for me as well. Actually, hold on. I'm pretty sure my raids are working now. I think.
What?
Oh yes, there's both of them. There they are.
There you go. Well, I'll catch you guys later, chat. Thank you very much for coming. And I'll see you
Yes, indeed.
next time.
Yeah, send our love to them.
Yes.
Bye bye,
yes.
everybody.
Bye bye.